welcome to the stream, everybody. Happy November 1st, Halloween yesterday. Hopefully, do this one first. Hopefully, you guys had a good time and you dressed up as some cows or moose or whatever you're doing. I dressed up as a mummy in my bed because I didn't do anything because I was super tired from the week. So, yeah, didn't do a whole lot. So, just having a look here at some comments. Yeah, so let's see what we got here so far for the thing here. Okay, so QuickTime events looks like is, man, everything guy, you're getting just absolutely shafted on that character selection system. Maybe I'll just make that an actual video. But yeah, hopefully everyone's Halloweens were good and some great Udemy's great, great place to go. And then yeah, to answer your question there, just going down the list here. Kingston, welcome to the stream. Full stack developer. Well, you already know way more than me in terms of programming, but yeah, the basics of UE5. Where to start? Start with making systems. Start with making stuff that actually works in the engine. So obviously, like, this is basically what the whole stream's about, is that people are having trouble figuring out what kind of systems to make. So that's, people are going to request that, and that's kind of what we're building. But yeah, make systems, don't make games right away. Just that helps you get to know the engine and helps you get to know how things kind of work together. If you're a full stack developer, I'm sure you're super familiar with object-oriented programming. So I don't think it'll be too hard for you to get into it, but yeah, just start making some systems. You can start with some basic ones like, an interact system with items or something like that. So that's probably a good idea to start with that. Weapon attachment in runtime. Oh yeah, you're looking for. Okay, I see. Yeah, we could do that. To throw that in the Goku. I haven't seen you in a hot minute. I saw you commented on some of my inventory tutorials like months ago, but I haven't seen you around in a hot minute. So, anyways, yes, weapon attachments at runtime. That's, to be honest, if we did the character selection system, I'm gonna do a character selection system video because everything guys suggested that. It's been second in polling every single time. I'll probably just make an actual video on that. And then anyways, so the character selection system, it would be somewhat of the same thing where like you would have some sort of UI menu open up. You would tell it what attachments you want on the gun, and then when you're all done and you hit like OK or accept, then you would set all of those static meshes as the attachment is how I would do it. Okay, so it looks like QuickTime events is going to be probably winning this one, but we'll hold off for a couple minutes and get caught up here. Okay, so you need to do gameplay tags video because they're amazing. I did do a gameplay tags video, actually. That was the one that made my channel take off. I remember actually when I released that video, I think I had like 200 subscribers at the time, and Azura went away to Florida for some for some, like, I didn't know what it was, for a family vacation, and I stayed behind here, and that's when I was starting my FPS series. And yeah, I just remember I released that video, and then I like woke up the next day and I had 600 subscribers. So I literally grew like 400 subscribers overnight. I was like absolutely shocked because at the time I was like happy to get 100 views on the video. Actually, I still am, to be honest. So how'd the week go? Yeah, so while we're waiting for the poll to kind of finish up here. Yeah, this week Azura and I worked on a film project called Dunes. No, Tombs, sorry, Dunes, Jesus. Tombs. So yeah, that was shot locally here around us. I haven't worked on a whole lot of film projects since I moved away from Vancouver in 2022. Just because there's not a whole lot of filming up here, but yeah, they called me and asked if I'd be interested in working with them, and I said only if I can bring my girlfriend, and they're like, sure. So yeah, we went out there and worked for weeks. It was rough. It was first day was not too bad. We just had to wrap up a bunch of barbed wire fencing, and then the second day. Yes, this is film, by the way. This isn't just farm work. We're filming at this location. It was a bunch of abandoned, kind of like I think it was an old movie set. It was like a old, like, late 1800s kind of Wild West kind of saloony type of buildings, but they're all like, depreciated and decrepit and falling apart. Some of them have actually collapsed and stuff. But yeah, there was a church that we were filming at. And yeah, the first day the winds were blowing like 50k or what is that? That's like 25 miles an hour. And yeah, we scooped like 8 or 9 buckets of horse shit. So in those winds, so that was not fun. Azura raked and I shoveled, so it was a good time. Yeah, then the actual filming, since I haven't worked in film in quite a while, my body it was feeling it pretty good, so still hurts to walk. Yeah, I think first day I did like 30,000 steps, pretty close to that. Second day we didn't do as much because we were in one spot the whole time, but yeah, it was a tough week. And then yesterday we just kind of wrapped out and finished up. So, you went to an abandoned church, so you should have gone ghost hunting there. Well, I mean, there was no ghosts there because it used to be a movie set, and ghosts don't occupy movie sets, so that's fine. Kingston, you're responding to my thing earlier about what to do, what to learn in UE5 standard. C++ and Unreal Engine C++ feels so different. Oh, really? That's interesting. Does normal C++ use object? I guess it would. You would have the option to use object-oriented programming, and then just the regular one. Oh, happy everything guy. Is it film about? Sorry, is it a film about you doing farm work? No, sadly, I was not in the movie. Yeah, Mom always said I had a face for radio, so I work behind the camera, but here I am on camera. Anyways, yeah, so it was about it was a movie within a movie kind of thing. It's about like I can't give away too much of the plot, but it's a First Nations film about like some old movie back in the day. Or it's like the filming of an old movie back in the day, and there was some kind of love interesty stuff between the two main cast members and stuff. So yeah, yeah, it's good stuff. You'd watch me doing farm work. Pff, I don't think I'd do the farm work for you to watch, to be honest. I did grow up on we'll call it a semi-farm. My parents had horses and stuff, but like that was kind of it. So no stranger to shoveling horse shit. Yeah, Happy just wanted that #1 spot. Of course you did, right? All right. Anyways, hope everyone's Halloween's was good. Let's get on with it here. Sec here. I can reply to super chats. I didn't know that. Yay, farm work. Anyways, okay, so where are we having? Okay, yes, let's end the thing here. So it looks like QuickTime Events did win, and of course I put that one in last minute. There's actually 2 requests for this QuickTime Event system here. My cat's taking a shit. Anyways, and we're gonna end the poll here. I don't think people can pin stuff except for me, which is really annoying. So I'm just gonna have to quickly type that out. Working on QuickTime Event System. And I'll that, and then of course I put the little extra thing there. That's cool. Alright, that's pinned to the top, so hopefully no one asks me that question. Every time somebody asks that question in the chat with that pinned at the comment, I want to see moos in the chat. Alright, so let's let's go to Unreal Engine 5.6. I don't have 7. Is 7 only available to like some select people or what? I don't even know. Okay, so let's open this up here. So in the Discord's been pretty hopping lately. And yeah, we just promoted Nice Guy and Fat Man to admins, so congrats to them. Thanks for helping me out, because that's a pretty busy Discord, and you guys are pretty much active every day anyway, so. Sadly, I have to dip out when the person I'm helping fixes their game messages. Fix their game messages me. Oh yeah, sounds good. No worries. Well, thanks for joining regardless, but the moo. Yeah, that doesn't get used enough in chat. I gotta find some sort of something to use that in. But anyways, yeah, so while this opens up, just trying to think about how I would do this QuickTime event system, because I've never done one, just like last week, but I cannot be spending 6 hours on this stream, because the lady and I didn't get to spend a lot of time together this week, other than shoveling horse shit, so, we gotta do something else today before I get my child later today. So, yeah, QuickTime event system, let's see. Would this be a level sequencer thing? Like, would you trigger a level sequencer? That's going to be interesting, actually. And obviously, you know, there's 12 of you watching right now, so feel free to, in the chat, to just make some suggestions on how you would do this, because I'm drawing a bit of a blank. And should we do first person or third person? You could do this obviously with either or, right? So, um, yeah, I think possibly you would have to use a sequencer. Trying to think how to do this. Obviously, you need an input of some variety. And then you need UI to go with it, right? Okay, okay, I have a generalized idea. So obviously, yeah, you need advanced input. Probably would need a timeline of some variety in the event graph, and then that timeline, every time you push the button, would add like a certain percentage to the, we'll call it the progress bar. Doesn't matter perspective. We'll do third person then. Yeah, we won't do a variant here. We'll call this the quick time event. This is a development period. All right. I know this evolved time. Yeah, that's kind of figure. So yeah, like every time you push the inputs, it adds like 10% or something to the quick time event, and then as soon as you trigger that timeline, it's already going backwards somehow. Maybe on update, it's gonna slowly trickle back to 0, whatever that is. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. How we would accomplish that. Yeah, okay. I think I have an idea here. We won't do the UI prompt right away, because if we run out of time, that's something that can be easily implemented. Other than the controls thing, I know. Sorry, let me set this up for streaming, because I have it set up for when I don't stream. Load layout, stream record. Oh, what happened there? Hang on. Can you guys still hear me? It says OBS disconnected. So hopefully you guys can still see me. Let me switch the scene here too. Okay, it says reconnected, so hopefully you guys got me back there. But alright, so we're inside the UE5 here. Perfect. So how many hits of a button needed in time? Change UI radical border from darker to green to show success being applied. Yeah, okay, so you want some sort of... I know you were, Joppy, you were one of the people that requested this system, and then there was somebody else. I can just quickly look that up here. Yeah, so this one was you that requested this. I'll read your actual thing so we can make sure we have the right ones. Oh, you requested it twice, copy. Never mind. So you were both. Okay, question. Yeah, if you guys have requested a system, you don't have to request it again, because I have the list here of the whole thing. There's 21 different requests in here. We've already done 4 of them, so I just want to see what your feedback is. At any point in a game, you can trigger a QuickTime event with an overlap as an event trigger in a sequencer where the character controller stops and the only the QuickTime event based IMC is in play. Oh, okay, I see. The key to be pressed is passed in and a duration. The blueprint using the QuickTime event waits for the bool success for the event. It could even pass in a position. Okay, so yeah, because we worked together a weekend or so ago about your IMCs, because you kept switching them when you went to UIs. And chat, you might know this more than me, because I actually just put all my controls in the same IMC and then just override them in the UI. So I don't actually have experience really with switching IMCs. I know once you add an IMC, it's always listening to it. And then Joppy mentioned a couple weeks ago that you can add a priority, and then it's going to go with priority 0 first. And then if nothing that you push in that matches anything, then it goes down to the next one or something like that. But can you remove IMCs as well? Oh yeah, the third time, yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah. So let's so you remove it and then add it back at a lower priority. I see. I can see how that's beneficial. The IMCs. Yeah, like I said, I've always just put it in the same one, so that's interesting way to do it. But okay, so let's just get the QuickTime event working. We'll start with that, and then we'll work with the IMCs and all that kind of stuff afterwards. So, and the UIs. Okay, so we'll obviously just need some sort of trigger box. So let's just make a blueprint, blueprint class right back there, and we'll call it I guess BP, because that's how it's supposed to be done. QuickTime event trigger. This will just be a trigger box, and then some code. Oh, it'll be a box collision that I'll call trigger box because that's what I call them all the time. Box. Probably, once again, I do this every single time I add a trigger box. I set box extent in the construction script, promote this to a variable, so that we can set it in the world. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so just a trigger box, hit compile. Let's make a control here. So inputs, actions. Let's do new input action. And I underscore, and we'll call it... Can you change your key bindings at runtime? Because if you could make this... I'm just gonna try that. We're gonna do some experimenting here. QuickTime event button. No, you can't change it at runtime? Is that what the no is for? Okay, so if you can't change it at runtime, then we'll rename this then. Actually, let's do... You know what? We could we can make it randomized, actually, the QuickTime event. So let's do QuickTime event action 1, and then we'll duplicate it. I don't think we need to do anything in here, because it's just going to be a bool, basically. But you do want... do we want something else in here? Trigger fires only once when input exceeds the actual threshold. Holding the input will not cause further triggers. How would you change it in, like, settings? Remap? But I've never got that working. Oh, okay. I actually think this way is better because you could set... what I'm doing right now is because we can do 4 different QuickTime actions, and then when you're in a QuickTime event, you can tell it to grab a random action and then assign that to the thing. That's what I was thinking, right? So, I've never used a combo or a corded action. So, all actions in a combo array must be completed. That's an option we can do. I don't think we'll explore that today. Like I said, don't want to get too complicated today because I only have 3 hours to do this. So, let's do... Well, there's you could do hold for some things. Like most people, when they have an interact system, they'll have you hold a trigger. Excuse me. Oh, they also have repeated trap. Fires the triggered event upon repeated taps of a key. You can use this trigger easily to make a double tap effect. Input must be actuated, then released within tap release time to trigger. These are all pretty interesting. You could have some different effects with all of these. I don't know how tap works. Why don't we try it and we'll figure it out. I'm in Discord. In my Discord info for the QTE, I mentioned the IMC examples I would do, but yeah, for time, how you're thinking is good. But for me, I'd look up the set number of pairing for gameplay or for gamepad and keyboard and mouse. And then real time says I got frustrated with the input stuff. Wanted the key to work both pressed and held, but it triggered the pressed first, then went to held. Can you set player? Oh, there's player mapping. Can you set? No, you can't. Take the highest. Cumulatively adds the key values for each mapping. For example, a value of -7 and plus 0.75 on the same input action will result in a value of 0.5. Okay. Practical examples when you would use this is WASD. If you want pressing W and S to cancel each other out. Interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. So maybe that answers your question. So you wanted a key to work both pressed and held. Actually, I don't know if that would be fixed in here. Anyways, don't want to spend too much time on this. It's just an action. So yeah, we'll try tapped and we'll see what happens. If it's not working, we can come back and change it. Let's go to the default IMC and we'll just add this in. Mappings, input modes. This is all like I know how to make inputs, but like I haven't really like dove deep into the settings here. So, anyways, new mapping. This will be the QuickTime action number 1, and that I think we will use spacebar. There's no jump. Oh, there is jump, which is spacebar. So, never mind. It's not gonna be spacebar. What are we gonna have it as? F, I guess, for this. And then if you had a gamepad for your gamepad thing, obviously you just added another control here, which would be gamepad. Probably, I would assume, like the face left button. Gamepad face button left. That's the one you'd want. Okay, triggers. I don't. We already have triggers on. Sorry, we already have triggers on the actual thing. Do we need any of these? I'd scale by delta time. Ew. I don't think we need any of these. Yeah, I don't think we need any of these for now. Okay, so that's the control. Like I said, let's just get this working, and then we'll deal with this after. Okay. Let's open our player controller, I guess. Characters. Do they have a player controller in this thing? Third person, blueprints. There we go. We'll open our player controller. We will, this is where they're adding the IMC, so off of the event begin play, so that's where that gets actually added in. Joppy already knows this, but for those who don't, if you wanted to add another IMC, you would have to get your player controller, get your advanced, this, you can do this in any blueprint, by the way. So yeah, get your player controller, get your enhanced local player subsystem, add mapping context, and then you would add your IMC here. And then that would add, and this is where you set the priority and all that kind of stuff, so. Okay, so let's just do IA underscore QuickTime action 1. Let's just do print string off started. I just want to see how this I just want to see how this works with the triggered. Let's see. So it looks like I literally just have to push it once. Maybe that's... What about triggered? If I put it off of triggered and not started, I just changed it on the other screen there. Go away, print string. Yeah, so it literally makes no difference, so... whatever, we'll stay on tapped, and, so here's how I'm thinking of doing this. So we're going to need a couple of variables. One Boolean called, action success. And we'll compile and make sure that, wow, this changed back to, sorry, window, or what is it, view, load layout, report. Please, say. Details, over here, there we go. Sorry, yeah, I just want you guys to obviously see what's going on there. Definitely remove real-time fat man. So yeah, don't remove real-time fat man. He's good stuff. Anyways, I'm thinking the press result should come off canceled with a check if the function held function triggered. Well, there is a hold. I gotta open this again. The inputs actions. Okay, screw me then. All right, there we go. This here, we can do hold. Right? So it only fires once when the actual time is hit. But where do you set that? Oh, you open it here. Oh, okay. Maybe if we do tap. Okay. Tap release time threshold. Affected by time dilation. Ooh, I mean, yeah. Actually, let's do false, because for QuickTime events, I'm assuming you wouldn't want time dilation in a sense. Actuation, point at which this trigger fires. I feel like I was under all of those. So, that's really weird. I'll let Joppy make the call because she requested the system. So, like, which one are we hoping to do? Do we want to do holds? Do we want to do just like a tap? Because, yeah, what I was thinking is, like, to be honest, having none. But having tap is at least... Well, tap wasn't working, but what about pressed? We do pressed, and then every 0.5 seconds is when it allows it to fire. So let's see what that does, actually. But I'll wait for your comment there. Okay, well, it's not doing anything now. Oh, did I unplug it? Look at that. I unplug it. Leave it a hello. I think I used pressed. Is that what I just put in? Okay, pressed. Copy. Let's... But it seems to trigger it no matter what. Do you have to set it here? Like the elapsed seconds... Yeah, you probably have to do like a greater than triggered seconds? Is that a thing? Let's see if this works. Yeah, it's working, so I think. Nope. Never mind. So, what is, let's debug this. We'll put it over here so we can see. Come on, there we go. What's happening? So, I don't know what's not working there. Because this doesn't make sense in a way, because it's actuation. Point at which the trigger fires. 0.5. So, sorry, do I have to, like, hold it for 0.5? No, I'm holding it, so it's not working there. So, okay, well. See here. I want to get rid of this branch, and I want to print string triggered seconds. I went out of started, so is triggered what I need? This guy here. So, just for fun, I want to do hold. We'll change it back after. Okay, hold time threshold. So this basically means nothing to me. Is one shot. Ooh, that's good to know that that exists. So pressed. Okay, so we won't worry about the time. What we will do is we'll just make sure we balance the amount of percentage it's adding to the thing here. So, all right. So let's make that big. Make this big again. Let's just get going on this. So yeah, we need an action success. Let's get action success, and let's convert that to a branch. This is the best upgrade in 5.6, in my opinion. Just so good. Okay. Excuse me, I was in the player controller. Let's come out of triggered. Yeah, let's come out of triggered, because we don't care about it being pressed more than once. Anyways, so... let's make another variable. Let's call it QTE %, and let's make that a float. Let's get the QTE %, and let's add, and then we will promote this to a variable, and we'll call this QTE % to add. And let's make that instance editable, because we can make, obviously, change that for every QuickTime event, right? So in this case, our QuickTime percent should be defaulted to 0. This, let's do like 5%, and we'll balance that all later. Okay, and then we're going to set the percent out of false. And we should actually move all this down below, because if it's true, we're going to trigger whatever the event is that we want, right? Which we'll figure out how to do later, whatever that event is. Okay, so here's the percent. Let's get a timeline now. Remember, timelines cannot exist anywhere except for inside graphs. So we can't put it in functions or anything like that. So we can collapse this to a graph, like a subgraph, but we won't be able to put it into a function or anything. So okay, so time, we'll call this quick time event time. Sorry, percent. Sorry, I had a smart word in my brain, and then it just vanished. It's just like, no, you can't look smart on stream. Depreciation, that's what it was. Percent depreciate. Is that how you spell it? I think so. I kind of hate timelines. You know what? I think I know what you're getting at. If you could elaborate a little bit more about why you hate them. I don't use them as much as I used to. I do like them for, like for something like this makes a lot of sense, because it's called a quick time event. We're literally manipulating something in real time. I think this percent is really good for what we want. This enum here is really handy too, because you can get a switch node and you can change what you're doing if the timeline's going forward or backwards, so that's handy. A lot of things don't need timelines. Like, literally, I used to use timelines all the time, and then I'm like, you know what, there's like way easier ways to do this, like the set event by timer and all that kind of stuff, right? So, I just don't like it when I want to build component stuff. Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think timelines and components are necessarily a good idea, because this obviously runs on tick, right? So then everything's going to be running tick stuff. If only I can manipulate my FAT in real time. I mean, you're a self-sabotager, fat man. But I depreciate you guys so much. Yeah, you would, Mark. Funny stuff. Anyways, okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna open that up. Let's do a... I just realized, how are we going to update the time of this timeline? You know what, actually, I might actually maybe take beta testers' dislike for timelines in this particular instance as well. But it's the smoothness that it creates is what I really like about it. Because I'm thinking of the UI, like the thing where, you know, the what's it called? The progress bar that we're gonna have in there. Just having it. Sorry, let's go back here. Play for start reverse, set new time. I actually don't know what this does. Every time I use it, it doesn't do what I want, so I just like kind of stop worrying about it and using it. Is new time the new time on the timeline from 0 to 1? Is that how it works? If I hold Control and Alt, does it tell me more about it? Oh, it does. New time, jump to time when set time is fired. Oh! Okay, that's what we're doing then. We're gonna use new time. So quick time percent, I think we should just do from 0 to 1. I think that is the only thing it needs to do. So the percent to add... Let's, off of event begin play, after this, all this, let's get the percent to add and divide it by, oh, suck me, there we go. Divided by 100, and that'll move the decimal place over. And then, percent to add, we'll set it again here. Yeah, just because obviously in the world you're going to be setting the percent like, you know, you would normally, like 5% or whatever, and then this is going to convert it to takes percent and percent and moves decimal over 2 places. Yeah, but if we're going to be working between 0 and 1 in this timeline, we need to make sure that this percent to add is working within that as well. Okay. So, let's go back into here, and we will detract length of... I wish this could be a variable, to be frickin' honest. Oh, you didn't know about Control Alt, Joppy? Yeah, it doesn't work on most blueprints, or most things. Unfortunately, like if I come up here and go to like, what's this? Add mapping context. I didn't know. Right, so, but yeah, some things like this timeline super useful. Okay, so let's, we always wanted to reverse, so we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna go into, reverse. No. Okay, this will be set new time, actually. And then in here, we need to have... I just don't know how long we want it. Let's do... Five seconds seems too long. Let's do 2 seconds. We can adjust all this later, but yeah, we're gonna have a new float track, and it'll be the QTE percent, or don't rename it because you know my name's TG. Anyways, what did I just say it was? QTE percent. Okay, and doop. I held shift and clicked. If you didn't know that, time of 0, value of 1. And then this will be, I made it 2 seconds, time of 2 seconds, and value of 0. So we're gonna run from, I'm just trying to think how this is gonna work here. Yeah, we want it to go that way, and we want to start new time of, we'll hit compile. Yes, I think that's all we want. So yeah, and then set new time. New time will be the percent. The current percent. So that's where we're gonna start. Shit. Actually, sorry. This has to be 1 second, I think, hey? Yeah, it has to be 1 second. And that's fine, because that'll, it'll all work out here. It has to be 1 second because we're working between 0 and 1 with everything. Right, so let's go back to the event graph. So my thoughts are, if you you set the new time of this percent is going to be pretty much 5 to start. So it's going to start at the end at 5, and then it's going to keep going down to 0. It's going to constantly be sorry, this sets in plays, right? Time to jump to when set new time is fired. Let's print a string now. And let's put this in. Let's just make sure this works. Off of update here. Yeah, I agree with beta tester. They're fine in basic blueprints. These are latent actions, which means like anytime you see this little clock on any of the nodes, so like the delay, right? Delay, come on. Like this clock here. So actually, the timeline is slightly unique in a sense. Oh, I'm actually blanking that you can't call it in. You can call it in one place where you can't have other latent actions. I can't. Someone in chat might remember, but yeah, delays can only exist in event graphs and macros. Or sorry, pardon me, latent actions. Which you can see perform latent actions with a delay specified in seconds. Calling it again is counting down. While it's counting down, will be ignored. So that's like what the delay node does, but this node will complete at a later time. Latent nodes can only be placed in the event graphs or macros. But you'll notice if you do it in a macro, so I'll just make this macro or whatever. If I drag this macro in, you'll see it, it's normal. But as soon as I put a delay in here, delay, and plug these in, you'll notice that this now has a latent action clock on it. Okay, just so you can do it in macros, but those are the only places you can do them. Okay, so yeah, anything that does so anything to do with animation, I believe, has this, or not animation, sorry. Basically anything time-based like these that's going to be working after the code's kind of already finished its thing, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't, I don't know. Okay, anyway, so let's do this, make sure it works. So every time we fire this off, we are checking to see if our action success is true, which it'll be false regardless anyway, because we haven't said anything else. Then we're going to add our QuickTime percent, which will be 0, to our QuickTime percent to add, which will be 5. Or 0.05. 0.05, I think it is whatever. Yeah, 5%, but in the decimal format. Then we're going to make that our QuickTime percent and set our new time. So every time we push it, if we push it fast enough, it should make this percent go up relatively slowish. Okay? So there, you can see, I'm like, we're going to need some balancing because 5% clearly is not enough. But you can see that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So let's do 10 just to see how it goes. Interesting. So it like works but doesn't work? I'm so confused. Oh, I see. So it just sets the new time, it doesn't start playing. So let's do this then. Let's add a sequence here. So we'll set the new time and then we will play. That's what we'll do. Okay? Oh, and sorry, one other thing we didn't do is we didn't, where's our percent here? We gotta set our percent off this update. Like that in there to keep it neat. Perfect. Alright, let's try that out here, see what works. Although, by the way, Kingston, right, is who the programmer. If you're still watching, if I'm doing anything really stupid programming-wise, you should tell me, because now that we have a full stack programmer in the chat, we'll learn some stuff, I'm sure. I mean, Unreal's, he was saying C++ and Unreal is different than normal C++, which I find super interesting. So it is working, you can see, because it's not going right to 0, but it's, yeah, we need some balancing here, because we're not going to get to 1. So maybe, yeah, because I made this 1 second because we're working off of this percent, right, as the new time. So we really have to probably crank up this percent to add to like 25, just to make this like doable. Can I make it to 1? I can't. I'm like stuck at 6. So let's make this 40. Nope, I can't get to 1. Can't do it. So let's make this longer then. Let's make this like 3 seconds. And then we'll maybe just do some mathage here. Whoops. Pile, event graph. Let's make some mathage. Now we need to keep that at 1, so the mathage has to happen here. So the new time, we're basically going to times by 3, hey? That'll probably work. Let's see if that works. I mean, I'm just shooting on my ass right now. I don't know if it's going to work. Okay, sorry. Oh, Drop, you've done full stack too. Great. We've got a bunch of programmers in now. You guys can teach me stuff. Thanks for the explanation. Yeah, no worries. Real time says I've done cybersecurity. Don't recommend. That's funny because, yeah, that sounds awful, to be honest. Wouldn't want to be, wouldn't want to be in charge of that at all. Real-time Fabman, I'm very curious to hear your take on internet privacy, because for those who don't know, I don't know if you saw in the beginning, but I got a sponsorship with Epidemic Sound. So if you guys want a for free 30-day trial, then you guys can click on the link in the description there below, and you guys can get a 30 day free day trial. Apparently, I didn't rehearse this thing, but it's really good. And then if you guys decide to go with a monthly subscription, then you're supporting the channel directly, so that's great. The other one I have is INCOGNI. I've been using INCOGNI for quite a while. For almost 2 years, I used to get like robocalls and scam calls, like 5 to 6 of them a day, and it was really, really bad. And then, my emails, I was getting like 50 emails a day, and like 45 of them were like junk, spam, phishing, all that kind of stuff, and I was just getting sick of it. So, I changed my phone number and my email, and that obviously stopped those. I hear the guy who got my old phone number is pretty pissed, to be honest. So, anyways, yeah, then I discovered INCOGNI, which, they basically go through all of basically the people data sites, find all the data about you that you've specified, and it'll remove it for you. And I've actually seen, I've been getting spam calls and stuff again, but, like, it's significantly, more controlled and stuff. Basically, I really recommend INCOGNI. So if you guys want a 60% off in a yearly plan, you guys can head down to the description below for that as well. This one's in the Discord. It's not a sponsorship, but it's for a thing called Sudo, or My Sudo. That can get you a voice over internet phone number, so it's a phone number that actually works, and then a separate email where things can't pull data on you. Like if you're surfing the web and you use that fake email, they can't pull data on you, which is really nice. Really helpful for real estate sites, because you know how you have to like put your email and phone number in to like even see the listings, and it's really annoying. I just give them my fake stuff, and it's the end of the day. But anyways, yeah. So there's a discount for that in the Discord in the affiliate links section. Anyway, so back to this stuff here. Keiko says, or Keiko, sorry, is stuck in one system. I don't know if I can imagine one way to make it real. I don't want to waste your time thinking how really to do it, but I need the opinion of another person. Probably won't get to it today here, but you can request a system. If you guys are looking to request a system to be made, you can look at the thing on screen there. You can use the QR code. It'll take you to a Google form. Just tell me what the system is and a little bit about what you're looking for, and then optional part of that is you guys give me some feedback on the channel. I would love to hear what you guys think and things I can improve on, as always. So, super chats and super thanks get a super thanks gets comments and stuff that I read out on stream, and then super chats will pretty much guarantee your placement for your system in the next stream, in the poll there for us all to vote on. All right, so real-time Fatman, in response to my thing about cybersecurity, I'm a Brit. My view on internet privacy with this whole Online Safety Act would require so many curse words, no one would ever talk to me again. Okay, well, yeah, the EU is just doing its own thing, hey? Ignorant Canadian. Britain is not a part of the EU. They're their own thing, right? And the EU is their pretty much everybody else over there, minus probably I think Ireland and all of them are on their own, I think. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like the Americans about Canadians. Sorry to say, but it's complicated. Yeah, but I mean, at least the EU's got like half decent ideas about stuff. Like they put a stop to microtransactions or loot boxes because they're like that's like friggin' gambling, yo. And you have this game rated T for teen, you friggin' dudes. So, yeah, anyways. Okay, so, sorry, distracted there. We were checking to see if this works. Am I going to make it to... I'm not going to make... Like, do we just do 75? Like, is this just too fast? I kind of want to watch this execute personally and see how it goes. Let's, can I watch this? I can watch... Actually, I don't need to watch value. It's printing it on screen. Can you watch this in real time? You can't. That's interesting. Okay, so Leroy says no European Union, yes, part of Europe. You must be the no European Union must be in regards to Britain. Okay, got it. It's more of a jurisdiction thing. I see. Okay. I have never been across the pond ever, so that would be a cool experience. I personally, hopefully no Brits get offended, I personally have no desire to go to London, and the only reason I say that is because I lived in Vancouver, and it's just like a bunch of buildings. There's more history in London than in Vancouver, obviously, I would say the same thing about like Paris and all those cities. Like I don't care about metro, to be honest. I mean, I'd probably go to Britain and real-time Fatman would drag me down to the local pub or something, I don't know. But, anyways, yeah, I'm more interested in, like, Norway. That's where I'm, like, my heritage is from and stuff. So, yeah, like, Norway, do, like, a Norwegian cruise or something like that and just go see all the stuff up there. That's kind of what I'm interested in. I'm not offended. Yeah, I'm sure if you live in London, you're like, yeah, don't come. You know. Yeah, Vancouver is really nice, but, yeah, people go there like, oh, it's a really nice spot, but it's just like, I don't know. When you live there, you're just like, I'm just over this place, you know? And it's impossible to afford to live there, so. Okay, so I noticed a weird thing. So if I'm, like, mashing this button, it just, like, I see it's cycling between 0 and 0.5, basically. But if I... Okay, interesting. It's not firing every single time I push it. Let's see what's happening here. So, what did I set? This had like 0.4, so this should be like adding a lot. Should anything be added off of finished? I don't think so. But yeah, it adds 0.4 only when the time runs out. It's almost like. So, do we need to change... something here? I would love to live somewhere different. You know what? I've moved to a couple of different places in my life, and I really enjoy discovering the new things about that place. Like learning the roads, just going for a drive. Obviously, like in film, I worked in locations. So within 10 years, I actually probably know the Lower Mainland probably better than people who have lived there their whole life because I have been literally everywhere for filming. So I know like all the roads, all the back roads, all the like secret spots, like everything, right? So I liked doing that in other towns that I moved to. So yeah, obviously I'm not gonna say what they are on stream or whatever because internet privacy. But anyways, where, sorry, Kiko said something here. Oh, I'm taking C++ in Unreal Engine is different in a way that is highly specific to game development, that you can call functions from blueprints you specify in a class and memory management, etc. So if I were, I bought a C++ course on, no, sorry, or was it C++ for UE5? It was, okay, it was specifically for UE5. So if I learn C++ for Unreal Engine, if I go to do like C++ for like a program or a software or whatever the hell, is like, is it going to be drastically different, or is it just like, you know, when you go to a new job place and you just have to, like, you're doing the same job but in a different job place and you just got to learn how they do things there, kind of thing? Is that how it is? Okay, so Kiko says that sounds really complex. I'm not really great with materials and material functions. Okay, sorry, you're responding to something you said earlier. Oh, the system you're looking at is involving smart materials. You need to have knowledge of Substance Painter and how materials actually work in UE. I thought smart materials. I was thinking of smart objects. Yes, I have literally zero knowledge on how materials work. I know how to make it look like this, basically. You know, like, oh, I want green, cool, green. Plug it into base color, walk away, done, right? I don't know much about materials. I probably should. I don't know, that's more of an artsy thing. I like doing systems. I like doing this kind of stuff. I would do level design stuff if, obviously, Azura wasn't doing level design for my game, but I don't like... I get bored of it, and I don't like doing the minute stuff. So it's like, I'll do the big picture blocking. Like, I'll build a little level like this, and then it's just like, oh, I'll put a couple boxes here and a couple things over here or whatever, but it's just like, oh, now it's time to apply decals and make it look nice, and we're gonna age this building over here with, like, some graffiti and, you know, like, all the little fine details. Like, I totally not interested in doing that myself. Okay, so... where are we? He made a tutorial on QuickTime events... Sorry, Kawaii visual effects. I made a tutorial on QuickTime events from game The Dead by Daylight. Keep up the amazing work. Love seeing your growth, but I'm gonna show now. I don't know what that last part means. But anyways, thanks for joining the stream here. Don't lose your spirit of adventure, but yeah, back to the tutorial. Anyways, yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's figure out why we set a new time. It doesn't go to that time unless we are, like, done. So that's weird. Because maybe I don't actually fully understand how timelines work, because I thought that made sense. Um, Kiko says it happens to all of us. Don't worry, programming is our core, but it gives us the materials. We're all crippled. Yeah. And I learned Blender. I know how to use Blender. Right now, Mark's making a super awesome looking hospital inside Blender, so you keep sharing it on the Discord. Anyways, will the Tarkov style inventory system be replicated? No, it won't be replicated because it doesn't matter, because it's UI. If it's all everything to do with UI is not replicated anyway. So the only thing that would need to be replicated in a sense, which we're not doing in the series, because so in the series, in the Tarkov thing, I'm showing you guys how to do the inventory, how to do the grid inventory, how to create the data assets and make all the items move around and all that kind of stuff, how to when you equip a backpack, how it changes the slots and all that kind of stuff. I'll do a sorting function, and then we're going to be doing crafting. So those are pretty much all exclusively UI stuff. Which is not replicated. The only thing that would be replicated is if in the world you loot a body and then you take an item and then that item disappears for everybody. So that'd be the only thing you need to actually replicate. Yes, I'm not done the Tarkov series yet. I've never made one before, like I said, so I'm basically doing what I'm doing today, which is like trying to figure it out, but I'm done the inventory. The inventory grid works. I'm doing the component where you drag the backpack in and changes the inventory size right now. It's not going to be like hyper complicated. I'm not going to be doing weapon systems. I'm not going to be doing equipping helmets and blah, 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 blah. I'm not doing any of that kind of stuff. It's literally just the inventory and how to do a crafting system. And that's it, pretty much. Okay, so, then the input has a branch from the bool and it overrides the usual action. You're talking about... as far as this system goes, you need a trigger area that an overlap calls a BP to set a timer event to the... Yeah, we're just trying to get the quick time event to work. We're going to do all the nitty-gritty stuff afterwards. So once this is working, that's great. I think what we'll do is we'll add another bool here, and we'll just say quick time event active, and we'll just set it false. And then by you overlap... We'll have some sort of thing in the game trigger this to be active, right? So, okay, anyways. Let's see. How do we... So, this sets a new time, and then we hit play, so we start playing from that new time. Then on update, it starts going down. When we trigger this, do we need to add another sequence here? This is going to seem silly, but... I'm just testing stuff out. So some of the stuff I do doesn't make any actual sense, and I would never do this in a real game. But I'm just testing stuff just to see like what works, and if this works, that'd be interesting. This won't create an infinite loop, right? No, it won't. Okay. Okay. So the idea behind this, we're gonna stop the timeline. We are going to then add all this stuff together, set the new time, and then play again. So let's see if that fixes our problem here. No, it still runs out. And then it adds 50%. So, gee, I thought the timeline was the answer for this, but maybe it's not. Is there something... Is there something, Chad, is there something like, so, obviously, this is for movement, right? A linear interpreted movement. So this is for moving stuff in the level. But is there something like this for floats? I'm just trying to, my brain is just, I feel like there is something. Or would we just use a lerp? Because it's not movement we're looking for. We're just looking to get value. A would be 1, and B would be 0. Clamp it. Clamp it, eh? We don't want to clamp it. We want to move from what, like, we want to do what this timeline's doing, but have more control with this alpha, basically. Sorry, I'm just thinking. So there's lots of things I don't know about UE, obviously, but normalize plus clamp. Okay, let's try that. I'll just get those out. Normalize. Is there a normalize for just floats, or does it have to be a vector? But anyways, I was gonna say, for alpha, when you run off of event tick, the time elapsed time, is that from 0 to 1? Question mark. So we'd have to disable tick when we're not using this too, by the way. So I'm super curious. I just want to see this work. So let's print string. So this is me learning new things. I just like, hey, does this do this? And then I just do it. So let's see how tick works. Okay, so that's the delta seconds. I don't think that's going to help us. Just looking at what the math is, and even if I move decimal places over and do some other stuff with it. Yeah. If it's on tick, use delta seconds. Yeah, I knew delta seconds existed. You drag out of here and get delta seconds, right? But, or delta time. But yeah, there's that one, which is what I normally use for the alpha. Anyway, sorry, you said, for the alpha, if it's on check, use delta seconds. Yeah. So, but anyways, this normalized node, I've actually never used this. So this gets normalized units copy of the vector, ensuring it's safe to do so based on the length. Returns 0 vector if vector length is too small to safely normalize. I will probably need some more documentation on that, because that actually doesn't make sense to me. Normalized copy of the vector, ensuring it is safe to do so based on the length. Do you use this for like placing stuff? Like when you place something, it like checks to see if it'll fit or something like that? Oh, you were wrong. Okay, copy. Bye. So yeah, lerp, get world delta seconds. We want to be between 1 and 0. We're gonna get rid of this timeline because it's just not really doing what we want. Let's make this bigger so we can see. Okay, next, stop simulating. This is not doing what we need. Tick. Well, we're going to be running tick anyway if we're going to be getting world delta seconds. So, yeah, we will need to optimize this later and just disable tick when this trigger is not being used. But anyways, so we don't need this sequence no more, and don't need this sequence no more, so that helps clean some stuff up. Oh, go away, sequence. Go away! False. Down. I don't need that anymore because that was to change the... probably don't need this no more either. Actually we might. Well, anyways, we'll figure that out later. Did I delete delta seconds? I did. I deleted the lerp with the delta seconds. I make dumb mistakes and I forget lots of stuff all the time too, so if I'm doing something dumb, just let me know in the comments here. Obviously, you guys have been pretty decent at it. Well, you haven't been calling me dumb, but, which you can. I'll just say, oh, I'm dumb? I didn't know that. News to me. But, anyways, so, lerp, yeah, we want 1 here. Let's see. So the idea behind this is we're going to linearly interpolate between A and B. So interpolate, the word interpolate means, does that mean to move from point A to B in terms of real space, or is that just to move, period? I don't know. I'm not going to look it up because I'm just going to remain dumb, I guess. You can use normalized to range between 2 floats. I see. Okay. The lerp is, in my brain, I think lerp is what we want, because we want to go from A to B over a certain amount of time, and then we want to manipulate... Shit. Does world seconds work then? Because we want to change that. Because this would work if it's like we're going from point A to B over a certain amount of time, but we want to manipulate it where it's... well, yeah, I mean, you guys all know QuickTime events, so, like, it starts at 0%, and as you push the button, like, the percentage builds up, but it's always pushing back down to 0. But, so the more you push the button, the more you're building up that percent back, up to 1. So, We need a way for this alpha to get interrupted. That's why I thought the timeline was perfect. But you know what? Let's make a macro or a function. Can you can't use tick in functions, right? I'm pretty sure. Tick, blah blah blah. Maybe you can. Well, that's actor tick, but not. Like, you can't tick stuff in a function outside. I'm pretty sure that's what's you can't do. Because, yeah, functions, you can't have events or anything like that inside of it, I assume, because they don't want things firing out of sequence from the event graph or something like that. So, yeah, anyways. So get world delta seconds. Let's make this a macro then. So let's go collapse to macro. We'll call this percent count, not countdown, percent depreciate. Big word again that I can't spell. Percent depreciate. There we go. Yeah, okay. So we'll do that. We'll go in here. So we're going to get world delta seconds, and then we're going to add. Should we do. Let's do an in execute here. Or sorry, let's call it triggered. And then we'll do an out, and we'll call it trigger rigger. That's I mentioned before that I worked at ambulance, and that was we used to say that about because when somebody a little bit morbid, but when somebody dies, they get it's called rigor mortis, where their body freezes up or their muscles all freeze and stuff, and then we called it rigor, and that was the slang that we said in ambulance. But anyways, so. Triggered. I almost put rigger again. Triggered out. You kind of have to have a little bit of a dark sense of humor to work in a place like that because you're dealing with all that kind of stuff all the time. But yeah. Well, I'm not going to talk about any of that on stream because it's triggering for people who even work there, let alone people in just civilian life. But anyways, beta tester, you said you kind of can. Are you referring to the function and tick, or promote tick to variable? Oh yeah. Oh, I see. You're talking about function. I mean, the macro will work just fine anyway because it's going to only exist in this blueprint anyway. So, but yeah, probably a bit more complex than you need it to be for this context. Well, without the timeline, I just don't know how to add this in. Anyways, what I'm gonna do. I see. This won't work anyway. Oh, okay. I think I see what you're saying. So we're gonna delete this. Sorry, we're gonna delete this. We're gonna promote current tick to variable, which will be a float. We'll drag that out, and we'll get event tick, and we will set this. Okay, and then we will need to get the current tick and. Sorry, I'm just thinking. It's a. Oh, Leroy. Let's see some moves in the chat. Leroy, pin comment up top there. We are working on the QuickTime event system. So okay. Anyways, we're getting our current tick, and then when we trigger this event, we are going to have to do the percent to add, and then add to this. Add to this or subtract from it? Oh shit! The math now. I want to look at my notes from. Close all these. Close all. Here's my notebook. Not for sale. I might make it for sale. Not for sale, but for use or something later. This, when I made the weapon stuff, where's left hand IK? Maybe that's an animation. There it is. When I made left hand IK, I did. Was it up here? Where was it? Is that all I have in here? I swear to God, I had more. Yeah, anyways, when I did left-hand IK, we did a interp to move, or a T interp, or whatever it's called, where we had the thing reset back to normal, but I don't see it on here. Oh, I have left-hand IK here again. Is there more here? Player arms. Don't see it. All right. Well, it's here somewhere, but well, whatever. We'll figure it out. But yeah, basically, when I did this left-hand IK, that is mangled. Yeah, I had a thing here where we were doing an interpretive movement and we were using delta time. Or you know what? Sorry, it wasn't left-hand IK. It was the procedural recoil. Weapons. Procedural recoil. Here it is. Here it is. Get delta seconds, but that's the T interp, but it shouldn't really matter. Current targets. Okay. Well, I saw the pin comment about what are you trying to do with this part right now? Ah, I see. Okay. Retract the moves. The pin... So yeah, with this part right now, we're just trying to get the QuickTime system to work. So, we've created a trigger box that we haven't put in the level yet, but, yeah, we're in the trigger box right now. So it's literally just a, it's literally... Oh, shit. Is it... Did I close it? I don't need any of this anyway. There it is. Made this trigger box. It's just got a trigger in it, and now we're working on... You know what I just realized? We're building this in the controller right now, which is funny. We would move all this probably to here, or we would have an event fire inside the controller itself that would trigger this. Okay, character... That's that Boolean I was talking about earlier, Fat Man, about is active. Actually, we can run that from the controller. We'll just say get overlapped actors, or get overlapped actor, and then we'll select this, and if we're not overlapping that actor, it's not going to fire that event anyway. So, sorry, we are going to blueprints controller, because we're building it in here just to get it to work here. So we'll have to move all these variables over, whatever. Anyways, so we are triggering this. Action success will be set to true once we're actually done. Then we are getting our percent, our current percent, which is starting at 0, and it should be getting added to the entire time. So that actually means that this should be set here again. Just having a look here. Current tick. Yeah, without a timeline, this is like bending my brain in all sorts of directions. I did a similar thing with pending action enum. I saw the... I always wondered if I should pay more attention to the game mode. You know what? I learned some interesting things about game mode. Because you know how it opens and this comes up, and this is pretty much all most people know. Well, you can make stuff. I didn't realize. It's freaking obvious, but yeah, you can obviously open this up and then set all these different parameters in the game mode and run stuff that way as well. Game state is another one that people don't use much, and so is game not instance game. Oh Christ, what is it called? Is it game session or is it? There's another one. I can't quite remember. But yeah, they all have different things. Just because I'm reading up on replication now. Because I get asked about it all the time, but I only make single-player games, so I don't know nothing about it. So I'm reading into it now. Yeah, so there's a bunch of ones that you would have, you would store values in for your game, which I wasn't aware of before. I was using the game instance, which, I mean, technically isn't wrong, I guess, for some of the things. But, yeah, there's another one. I think it's actually the game state is where you want to put all of your items into, like, take to next levels and stuff like that. So, excuse me. Okay, sorry, back to this. I keep getting distracted. We'll read couple more comments and then we'll go. Okay, so because you can normalize the range based on a variable and use the input action press time, and that will return between 0 and 1 even if it's held longer. Oh, I see. Oh, you know, well, let's go back. Yeah, let's open this up and let's go back to this. Pressed point at which this trigger fires. What's this? Maybe we'll do repeated tap, because that's the idea behind this whole thing. Repeat delay. How often between taps do we want this to happen? You want this to be fair, but like, sorry, you want this to be quick, but you want to give it some time, so if people don't get it down perfectly, or like casual players aren't like used to mashing the A button or whatever, then it'll work out. I think 0.3 is pretty good. Number of taps which trigger repeat, the number of taps in a row it takes for this to be considered triggered. Shoot. Tap release time threshold, actuation. Maybe we'll do tapped instead. Tap release time threshold. I think that's fine. Effective time dilation, we'll skip all that. Yeah, we'll change this to tap. Okay. But that's if you're doing a bit by button press. Yeah, we're doing a button press. Game instance. Yeah, game state is replicated communication for server. Game instances for persistent data across levels normally. Yeah, exactly. I knew that about the game instance. I've used the game instance quite a bit. I store lots of stuff in there, actually, to be honest, because then I don't have to bother storing it in my player and then moving it over just to change levels, like, you know what I mean? So, okay, anyways. Where were we? We're here. We're trying to get this to work here. So, we want tick. We want to know exactly how much time has passed before we add this back. So the idea here, everybody, obviously, we want to go from A, which is 1, which is 100% of our, or do we want to go from, yeah, we want to go there from A to B, right? That's what it is? Alpha is from A to B, right? Between A and B, 100% of A when alpha is 0, and 100% of B when alpha is 1. Okay, you know what? Actually, that helps kind of clear some things up. So A, when it's 0, it's 100% of A. This is yeah. I'm also getting a couple different systems mixed up in my brain too, which I'm trying, like not systems, but different parts of Unreal Engine that are getting mixed up here. So you said the normalize, right? Normalize to range is based on a variable. Let's try that. Beta tester suggested that as well. Normalize. Normalize range, you said? Normalize to range? Okay. Turns value, normalize value, give range. Normalize range, range max, range minimum. So, but how do we get everything to push back, right? Because we always want the percent to be constantly ticking down back to 0. And then when we push a button, we want it to add a percentage back into the thing and then bump it back up as it comes down. Yeah, I really thought timeline would work for this, but it's just not doing what I want. Okay, so would percent go in here? Percent would go in here. Okay, I'm getting you now. This would literally be what's controlling your progress bar. So we don't need tick, do we? Oh no, sorry. How do we get it ticking down? Or, out of elapsed time, normalize straight to the range max and put the output of that to your percent by -1 if to give you a percent. Okay, so you come back, you go back here. Elapsed seconds and goes into value. Or sorry, you said straight to range max. Okay. And then the percentage would go here. And this would run my percent, you said. Multiplied by -1 to reverse it. Got it, okay. So, multiply -1. Okay, this is my percent. So that's what I'm setting. Okay, got it. Let's print string that. Would the elapsed time... Does this reset every time you trigger it? Because we don't want it to go back to 0 every single time, obviously. Manage max, sorry. Manage max is a variable of max time to hold. If you're in our Discord, Leroy, you can send me a DM if you want. I can look at it and see what you mean. -1% Okay, so let's well, this I'm gonna get rid of the set note because it's gonna not work. I want to see what this does, so we're just gonna test this out. Compile. So it's just continuously counting down. So that's always ticking, right? So the percents. Interesting. Max range. I'm not sure here. I just want to think about this. I'm actually really pissed the timeline didn't work because it literally made sense. Elapsed seconds needs to be your value. I see. Okay. So it's the range and the value? Because the max range should be 1, right? Because we want, obviously, yeah, for a percentage. But if we times it by 1, and this is our percent, then the percent wouldn't work, because it only works between 0 and 1, right? I think we don't need that personally, just based on how the percentages work. Let's see what this does here. Range is a variable for max hold time. I see. So it's just giving me 17, but it's setting the same thing every time. Jeez, doing this without a timeline is kind of hard, to be honest. Let's see, elapsed time and quick time percent. Triggered seconds, that's not gonna have. Elapsed, you don't have a, you don't, oh, you do. Okay, you can change what, yeah, for sure. Use the show. Okay, you tell me nothing, copy. Okay, so range is a variable for max hold time. Oh, I see. Yeah, we don't want to hold. We're not holding. Sorry, we're not holding the button. We are every time they tap, we want to add a percentage to this percentage bar, but we want the percentage bar to always be basically moving down to 0, which is again why time I thought would work. But that percentage every time you hold input down is basically, yeah. So like I said, we're not trying to hold it down. We're just trying to add percentages to the percent bar every time we press it, and then yeah, tick down the percent bar. So that's what we're trying to do. So I'm gonna plug this in. This should just work, to be honest, because it's just gonna be our percentage. So we're just adding percentages. Yeah, we added 40, right? So that went up to 1 pretty quick. I'm gonna do the timeline again. I don't know. There's got to be a way to make it work here. Whoops, not add component to timeline or whatever this is. Timeline buddy guy. There we go. Sure, we'll call it timeline. The set new time was like pretty freaking positive that was gonna work. F interp sounds like what you want for the progress bar. Yes, actually, good point. F interp. I forget all the interps. Interp speed. Yeah. Okay. Yes, this is exactly what I want. So yes, thank you very much. So we need to get world delta seconds and plug that in, and the elapsed time. I don't know how this interpolation should be given 0, then jump to target. Yeah. How does this work? Like if I put 1, what does that do versus when I put 10? Because I saw in my procedural recoil video, I had 15 as the interp speed, and that's like pretty quick. So does this divide it by something? I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna put 1 just to start. We'll see how it goes. Current target will be this guy. Target will be 0. And then we're gonna be setting percent. Yes. This guy, yeah, we're gonna set it again. Plug that in. Okay. Let's try that out now. Let's see what kind of data we get. Just see, it doesn't seem to be going down. Let's print this on event tick. We don't need current tick. Sorry, I'm on the other screen. Sorry. We can delete current tick because we're not going to use that. Yes. Let's print a string down here instead of our percentage. I just want to see what happens if it ticks down. It doesn't tick down. It just stays the same. So, what does interp speed actually do? Where are you here? Inputs. Interp speed takes a float value used to indicate how fast interpolation should step to the target value, but it doesn't. Some of this documentation pisses me off. How does it do the math? If you could tell me like the math equation of like how this works, then I can do what I need to do. But like just putting a vague ass description in it really pisses me off. So. Yeah, like I said, in my procedural recoil video, I did 15. Is that like 15 like milliseconds or like what is that? I don't know. So I'm just gonna do 50. We'll see what happens. Interesting. So it's not really doing what I want here. Okay, so let's see what's happening. We are adding our percent to add to our percent, which this is 0, this is 5%, right? Or 40%, pardon me. Is that what yeah, I did. Okay, so then we are taking the current percentage and we're trying to go to 0 over our delta time, and then this is what's tripping us up, I think. This is another thing. You're going to go to the Unreal Engine documentation, and it's going to be literally this is the documentation. I sent you a suggestion set up through Discord. Let's have a look. See here. So the person who requested this, which is Joppy, suggested this. This one here, just for some ideas. Clamp floats. Does this... Oh, okay, I see. Does this, what's it called? This doesn't have a way of going down, does it? Tap key progress. Yeah, that's where we set it, and then go back. So yeah, it's tap key. Is it above? Yeah. Of course, we're going to do that check afterwards. It's from that video. I don't want to copy another video on a stream, so I'm not going to open that, but, and then Fat Man sent me this. Set timer. Yeah, I was thinking about set timer by event, but I didn't know how to. Start key. That makes sense as well. Let's see what this says. Failed, completed. Okay, yeah. Input action, complete. Yeah, for sure. Button press window. Okay. So this is the only, yeah, so the set timer by event, actually you have the time being the percentage, or sorry, yeah, it would be the percentage. But that would be super quick though. Let's, This one's tough. Yeah, there's always one system in here that I don't know how to do, and then someone chooses it. Or someone, a bunch of people. Anyways, interp speed. That's the big question mark for me right now. So if anybody knows how the math for this actually works, that would be super helpful to know. The set timer by event. Set timer by event. Set timer for next tick by function. Ooh, set timer. Set timer for next tick by event. Huh. Does this fire every tick then, or every? That's a timer to execute a delegate next tick. No. Let's do timer. So set timer by event. I did think about these earlier, but in my brain, but I couldn't think of a way on the spot to deal with the time, like the event timing and the timing of it counting down. Let's do key percent. So instead of this, let's do this then. Let's try this out and let's see how this goes. So we'll do a custom event here. We'll do timer down. And we're always going to be checking if the percent is greater or equal to 0. Okay, and then if it is, we're going to be action success, set that as true. Okay, and then we'll clear and invalidate timer by handle as well. Okay, what else? Then after, if we're not there, then we need to tick it down. So we'll do, we'll set this, we'll get this, and we will minus it by, like, I don't know. Do we make this a variable? And set it, make it a instance editable one? Yes, we do. Promote to variable, let's call it, like, sorry. Percent to, or sorry, percent depreciation, depreciate amount, I guess. Depreciate. Yeah, I'll make that instance editable. So now we can set how fast this is. Basically, we'll just put it up here. Sets the difficulty. Jesus. Sets the difficult level, because I can't spell. Sets the difficult level of our QTE. So we'll say float is in seconds. Sorry, not seconds. Is in percent lost per, and then we'll make another variable called timer Sure, we'll call it timer for now. Okay, and then, so yeah, we'll need to make this a variable as well. Promote to variable, we'll call this timer. Timer. I don't know what else to call it, or, I'll think of a better name. We'll loop it, max once per frame. Sure, well, we're not going to do that. Max once per frame anyway. We'll set this timer's default to 0.3, I guess. The percent depreciate amount, I think, will be 0.1. Okay, let's see what happens when we do that. So then we are going to set this and this. This, if my brain works. I haven't read any comments yet. All right, no one said anything anyway, it's fine. Okay, so this, just reviewing, triggered, action success false. We'll put a print string here. We'll say QTE success. And so yeah, then we were taking the percent of our current percent, which will be 0 to start, and then we're going to add 40%. And then we are going to set this time. We only need to do this once, though, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, do we add a do once node here? Do once. And then we will do a reset. We'll just make a custom event here, custom events, and we'll call it reset QTE. Plug that in right here. And then action success. Yeah, we'll call that at some point later when we actually need that. But anyways, this should work, right? So let's have a look. Why does it keep saying success? I 0.4 and then I push it one more time and then it's 0.4 again after the success. Oh, look at that. PG's a dumb one, everybody. Okay, so this should work now. Okay, well, we got success on that. Okay, so this is doing what we want. Right? So this is just a really simplified version of what we want. It now works. Okay. At the moment, your set timers run every 0.3 seconds. Yeah, so that should be pretty fast. So to be honest, maybe we should check max once per frame, and then this timer can be like 0.1. See what that looks like. Okay, so it's could use some work. Some more balancing, obviously, but yeah, it works. So we have the tools here now to set this how we need. The depreciate amount probably could go up to like 0.25, actually. That would make it pretty hard-ish. Oh, let's go! Okay, I like that. That was good. Sweating there. Anyways. Okay, so that works. Change the greater equal to less than... no, we want greater than equal to, because if it's greater than 1 or equal to 1, that means we've completed our thing and we've, right? So, I mean, if I got the less than or equal to, then I would literally just flip these, so it doesn't make a difference. We need to, oh, if we reset this, perhaps we need to clear, we need to do this here as well. Clear and evaluate timer by handle. Otherwise, we'll probably get some errors there. Whoops, wrong one. Okay. All right, so this works now. So we wouldn't have this in our player controller. We would have this in our, we're gonna get rid of this now, and event tech as well. So we are gonna copy and paste all this inside of our QuickTime event blueprint. Sorry, we're gonna cut and paste this inside our QuickTime event blueprint here. We don't run on a vectick, which is great. So get out of here. Here we go. Paste that. Perfect. We have to, all the ones that are gray here, we just got to promote to variable, create variable, action success, create variable, create variable. Is that it? Looks like it's it. Okay, so, action success percent to add, that'll be instance editable. Timer, we're going to make a variable now. Make that instance editable, and percent depreciate amount, and that'll be instance editable as well. Okay, so this works now. This is in this blueprint. Now we can put it into the world. So let's do that. Time is it? Cool. There's our QuickTime event. Of course, like as in usual fashion, I've made the box extent default 0, so we're gonna fix that. Let's do 500 by 500 by 500. Okay, file. There it is. Okay, so there's our QuickTime events. I suspect you would use a sequence as well. So I will do that super quick later, but the next thing we need for this is the UI portion of things, and one thing I was going to do, which won't take very long, this I'm going to duplicate, and hopefully put 2. It did. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this a couple times. I'm going to go into my my IMC, and then I'm going to add those in. 1. And here 2. Or I guess 3, technically. 4, and then this has, yeah, so I don't have a gamepad, so I'm not going to do this for all of them, but you would add the gamepad function for this, or the button for this. F, this one will be R, right? Okay, and then this next one would be, let's say, C, and this last one will be, oh, B, I guess. That one's going to suck. But anyways, so what else did we do? We didn't add any. We took these off, didn't we? We did. Okay, so we don't have anything on there. We're gonna hit save. And this had, okay, perfect. I just make sure it's all good. So they're all taps. They're all in the IMC. They're all exactly the same, minus the key binding. Perfect. Okay. So what I'm thinking of for there is, like, it's going to grab a random QuickTime event action, and then it's going to have that be the one that you have to press. That's what I'm planning for that. Okay. So anyways, this QuickTime event works now. That's great. Should it not be on component begin overlap? No, because, or sorry, this shouldn't be on event begin play at all. You're right. 100%. No, this will be on a custom event, called, you know, start QTE, I guess. Or no, not QTE. Not start, sorry. Fire QTE. And then we don't need anything else out of there, yeah. Because we're going to call this from our player controller, right? So, in here, we're going to, okay, now I'm just realizing how to do this. How do I do this now where it's going to get the random ones? Do we do this in the UI, actually? Because in the UI, you can override controls, right? And when you do yeah, because you would switch your game mode to UI only in this particular instance. And then you can override it to only allow a certain control in. That seems like actually a little bit too complicated right now. Because yeah, I only have a hour and 50 minutes left to stream here, so we'll ditch that idea for this. We're just gonna get this to work here. So we'll just stick with action 1. So yeah, in this case, when we have triggered it, we are going to get overlapped. Can you overlap it over? Or no, sorry, I guess we would, maybe on component begin overlap is a good idea then. Switch on enum. You could use a player controller to add or remove the specific input. Yeah, you could. Yeah, like I said, we only have an hour and 50 minutes left, so I don't want. We're adding an extra thing in there that'll take too much time. So, we still got to do the UI and all that stuff too. So, all right, so we got this going on here. Fire UT, and then we want to call that from Can you do event dispatch? You freaking can. Fire QTE. So if that's the case, as long as, yes, okay, so as long as we, if we do a cast here for this, then as long as we don't create a cast or any reference to this blueprint from our player, then it should be fine. So we'll cast to our third-person character. Come on. Just thinking of circular references, right? If you have both of these guys referencing each other, then when we're done with this QuickTime event, the QuickTime event will not get destroyed, and will remain in memory. So it's okay to do this kind of stuff, right? As long as like my player character who's always loaded is not does not cast back, I believe is how it works. Anyways, we're gonna promote this new variable as third-person character, super cool. But then we're going to bind to DTE. Did I not compile this? Shit, sorry. We don't want the player. We want the controller. My apologies. Get player controller. You bind through here? That'd be super awesome. Bind to DTE? No, didn't work. So you got a cast to BP third-person player controller. Try to delete this so we don't have reference to our player. And then from here, we're going to bind to DTE. What the fuck? Where? Oh, fire. Fire. Yeah, I was just checking. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Bind to fire DT. There we are, Q2E. Oh, create events. Create matching events. And then here... we'll replace this with this. I should, yeah, never mind. I should have just done it the other way around. Do this. Oh, I can't? What do you mean I can't? Custom event. Fire. Event. Okay, that's how we're gonna do that. You need a specific controller to bind to. Yeah, we got that. Okay, so then we got, we're gonna get rid of that and get rid of that. We don't need it anymore. This third-person controller, so... Sorry, a lot of components in this I'm just trying to think about here. Delete all these. It is? Oh, in this macro I don't need anymore. Action success. Instead of action success, let's maybe say... No, you would do this with a... I can see why you want to use the IMC now, Joppy. But yeah, once again, we're gonna run out of time here, so... action success, I'm just gonna get rid of that too. Maybe an interface? Saying that we're, the QuickTime event is active or something. But that's if the overlap is what start things off. Yeah, I don't want overlapping to start the thing off. I think the overlap would start the sequence that plays. Yeah, there's so much stuff to do in this system too. So we got the system working. Let's just quickly do the UI, just get that out of the way, so we're not wasting too much time on that. Don't worry, like when I make this into the project files for all the members, I'll just make sure this is all neat here. Widget blueprints, we'll call this QTE button. Anyways, I opened this originally to show you guys something here in UI. Back here. Where was it? It was... Is it this one? Yeah. Platform-specific controls for UI. So you can do input data table. And so then you can put all of your different IMC, or your input actions in here, and then you can actually set the key bindings and all this kind of stuff. And then in your UI, you can put, it's called a common activatable widget, I believe. And then you can tell it from which line or row in this data that this thing belongs to, and then it will change your UI. So if you have a graphic for like the X button for Xbox, and then the it would be square on PlayStation, or if it's like a totally different key on mouse and keyboard, you'd have that all mapped in that data table, and then it would change whatever the graphic is to match whatever you're currently using. So that's how you do that. So I might do a video on that actually if you guys are interested. Just let me know. But yeah, so in this, that's what I would put here normally, but we're kind of out of time here. So Elias says, hey, what's up? By the way, you said in a video that the destroy actor doesn't actually destroy the actor, so what is the correct way to destroy actor? So I kind of here brought up this is a good example. So when you put the destroy actor node, this node, all it does is it flags this blueprint for deletion from memory. It doesn't actually destroy it from, like, it'll destroy it from the world. It won't exist in the world. It's not going to be referenceable or anything like that anymore, but it's still in memory. Unreal Engine has a garbage collection cycle. I'm not sure how often it runs. I don't have access to that data, to be honest, but it's not every frame or every second. It's like every, so often. So yeah, it will flag stuff for deletion. So anything that is flagged for deletion, it's now going to check if it has any references. So in the case of this blueprint, the QuickTime event trigger, we have binded to this event that is from our player controller. Okay, this obviously is a hard reference to our player controller, which obviously you need sometimes, right? Hard references are needed to make your game. I did make a video saying that they're bad. They're bad if you do it all the time. You want to try to minimize what's in memory as much as possible, but obviously you need hard references to make your game run. So, anyways, so we've binded to this event. The correct thing to do is to get the event end play, and then you're going to let's make this a variable. Promote to variable as third-person player controller. Plug that in. Great. Down here, what you should do is you should get your player controller, which we had up there, and then you're going to unbind event fire, whatever the hell. Okay, so now that we've unbinded this event, now we're going to go down here, create event. We're going to select the event that is, which is this one, which is same event that runs off of this bind, right? So this event now is connected to this bind, which is connected to this, which is blah, 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 right? All the way down the line to the player controller. So this is saying, hey, player controller, we don't need to subscribe to this event anymore. That's totally fine. And then it's going to say, okay, great. It's going to break those connections with this bind. Now, the only reference we have is to this player controller is here. We don't have anything else in the blueprint right now that Unreal is going to basically pin on this. So this is going to say, okay, so if we delete this, literally nothing happens, right? Because when you go to delete something, like if I go to delete QuickTime event %, it's going to be like, hey, this is in use, right? But if I go to delete, if I were to delete this bind or whatever, if I create a new variable to let's do a hard reference to our player, so BP player, right? Whatever, the naming doesn't matter. BP player, third person player, right? Third person character. Cool. There's a hard reference to our player now. Okay, so we've created one. If I drag it into the world, say get player, and I try to delete this, it's going to say, hey, this is in use. But if I delete this, and I go, hey, I want to delete this, it's going to delete it. Because it knows there's not any reference to that in this graph whatsoever, so no, it's safe to delete. So the way that deleting stuff works, that's exactly how the same thing, right? So we're unbinding and removing references of stuff that we don't need on event end play. And then that way our actor can get destroyed from memory, and our memory stays happy. Okay. Okay, so the new destroy is on end play. Yes, so you still need to call this. This will remove it from memory, like I said. Or sorry, it will remove it from the world, but it won't remove it from memory. This just flags it for deletion. Okay? The end play event will fire when you call destroy actor. Okay? That is how how that works. Okay, so anyways, back to this here. What were we doing? I totally forgot. No, it's not specifically to the code that runs on event begin play. It's literally anything in this blueprints event graph or functions or anything, if it still has a hard reference to anything, those need to be removed or deleted, okay? So one way to do that actually is on event begin play. If you have a hard reference to your player, like say up here you cast it to your player for some reason and now you have a reference to your player, like set it as nothing. I'm setting the as BP third person player character to nothing, right? I think that works, right? Oh, it still says it's in use. I'll have to get back to you on that because I'm actually not sure how to deal with those because obviously you would have sometimes you'd have functions with your player and stuff in them, right? So I think as long as it's not referenced directly from your player, then it should be okay. But yeah, I'll have to get back to you guys on that. Anyways, yeah, you're welcome for that. Joppy says this is why your streams are the best TG, especially for newbies. You show not just how to get things to work, but teach why they work and when they're needed.
Thank you!
Thanks very much for the compliment. Appreciate that. Yeah, like I said in one of the shorts the other day, and on the last stream, it's just I don't like how tutorials are like 5 minutes long or 10 minutes long, and they're like, yeah, this is how you do it, and then it just doesn't work for anybody. And then the comments are like, mine doesn't work, right? So, yeah, I don't know, I just hate that. Just teach how it's supposed to work. Even in some of my tutorials, I try to give a little bit of context of some things that would maybe be outside of what I'm doing. One example of my FPS, obviously, is I used weapons that weren't rigged, but obviously people are going to be using rigged weapons, and I know 90% of the things that people are doing when they're following my tutorials are not going to match exactly, right? So I'm going to say, hey, if you have rigged weapons, you're going to add this note in, right? So yeah. I don't know. It's you know, I've been in the trenches just like you guys, and I think that's really important to just know where you came from and know how it feels to be learning and how to be struggling with something and not understanding something, and then it's just like poorly explained. Everybody learns differently, right? So, anyways, back to the program here. What was I doing? Chat? I don't remember what I was doing now. We were in the controller. Oh yeah, I was doing the UI. That's right. Here it is. Okay, so we'll just do a graphic, or sorry, an image. We will shoot. I guess it's got to be in a canvas panel. Hey, wrap with canvas panel because we need it to go on screen somewhere. Call this the button to press. Let's wrap this also with a vertical box here. Okay, so vertical box, where'd the image go? Oh, I said replace with. Whoops. Image, and then we need a progress bar. In that vertical box. There we go. Okay, so the image, I don't have a button. I'll just throw one in here quick from my vault here, which is available for members, coffee members. Okay, downloads, no, where is it? It's my Vault of Assets, UI, controls, PC. We'll do the light theme, we'll do this, we will do, gotta find F. Oh, there's lots of F stuff, F1, F2, there it is, F. Okay, make sure that's optimized for things, asset actions, edit selection of property matrix. Expression is UI interface, texture group is world, of which it should be UI. Done. Okay, so that's done. That's going to be our image. We're not going to change it, but you would change it dynamically with that item table that I told you guys about. F. Damn, that didn't do what I wanted. Or is it white underscore? There it is. Fuck! That's not what it's supposed to look like. Image size. Oh no, let's do like 100 by 100. Is that gonna look stupid? Okay, that looks pretty good. So we're gonna do that. Let's put this center. Whoops, I didn't mean to do the offset. There we go. So center, and that alignment is off. That should be dead center. Oh yeah, then we'll do 100 by 100. That's why it was off center. Okay. Progress bar. I mean, we'll make this fairly big. I'm just trying to think, how do we make it bigger, sorry? Not transform, right? Or is it transform? Oh, it is transform. No, it's not. I can't remember how you make this bigger. I did it with image before, so maybe it's style. Background image, yeah. We're gonna draw as a... I like rounded box. It always looks so much nicer. Width. We'll do 1. We will do... You know what? Sorry, I changed my mind. We'll do image, just because... We can't do image, because we don't have one. Ugh! Box? How do you make these... bigger? Hi, Crony. Welcome to the chat. What about FU? Yeah, you're funny, Mark. I'm about to sit back down at my desk in a few minutes. Y'all enjoy the science while it lasts. Yeah. All right, Mike. Thanks for joining the stream. All right, so I got to figure out how to make this bigger. This is the one annoying thing I have about UI is like there's no clear way to make things bigger or smaller. You have to like manipulate it either with like size padding, all that kind of stuff, and then some things just straight don't have any sizing options at all. Super lame. You made the parent vertical box 100. Yeah, it doesn't matter because the yeah, this is gonna overflow. Oh, is that what you're saying? It might matter. Okay, sorry, hang on. Not that one. This one. Nope. Size X 100. Yeah, we'll do 100, and we'll do. That shouldn't matter, right? You made the parent box 100% size. Yeah, it inherits its size. Yeah, that's what I thought. I see your other comment there. I just want to get through this here because we only have an hour left in the stream here. So we could size the content, actually. Let's just do that. Okay. How do you make this bloody thing bigger? Scale would work. Can you go above? Oh, you can. Oh, but I don't want it for that. I just want it for the progress bar. Border padding? Does nothing. Yeah, I don't generally use render anything, transform anything. Usually try to do it up here. Image size shouldn't matter. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's the background image. Let's just do none for that, actually, and then we'll do, for the fill image here, box, image, border. Can you set the border size? We'll do tint of, I mean, that's not bad, I guess. Border, enable fill animation percent left to right. Sure, we'll do that. The background has to be something. That sets the size. So let's do image. Sorry, let's do image, but maybe not set it as anything. Image. Oh, it still sets it as something. Image size. We'll have to make that bigger. What is happening here? Go select fill. Select padding. Do I do this? Okay. That was just hit my microphone and then hit myself. That was funny. If I do a box. If I do a box, okay, it fills that. So, you know what? Maybe screw the vertical box. Let's just get rid of that. And we'll do a image. What's the shortcut here? It's anchors, hold shift to update, control to position. I see, yeah, so that. And then the progress bar will be that as well. Right there. Okay. So the size for the progress bar will be 400 by 30. Actually looks pretty decent. Alignment, we'll do that and that. And then we'll move this down. Position Y. Move that down for now. Image. We'll do this, of course. Then we'll do 100. This doesn't matter, I think, for images, right? Or it does? Okay, it does. Image size, very good. And then this will be moved up here. Okay, so there's that. Yeah, you would need a background image to tell the player how far they have to go. Fill image will be a box as well, and this box color will be like white, I guess. I don't know. Something easy. Percent. Oh, this is where you set that. Ah, blue's fine, sure. Okay, blue, and then we'll answer some questions. If you route the progress bar in a size box and put it on the same level as the vertical box, you can set the custom size. Yeah, that's true. I mean, we're already doing this. It's fine. You know what? No, you're right. I'm going to add... I'll add that vertical box back in, because I want to move this around a little bit, too. So, do that. We'll get that size box you're talking about. Canvas. Sorry. Vertical box. Progress bar goes in there. Image goes in there. I gotta reset this back. Size 100. Yeah. Okay, and then, sorry, this goes up. Goes here, and then the size box will do width 400. Fill. No, we don't want fill. Is it because of the image? Or let's make this bigger than 500 by, well, shit, we don't want that. It doesn't matter. I think we can change the size. So image size, oh, it's still 500 by 500, but it's set to this. There we go. Okay, and then this. Okay, there we go. Now we got to set the size box to like a size we want. So like something like that. And then maybe height override of something like that. And then we just gotta make this actual progress bar bigger. That did that. Okay, so that's perfect for now. Okay, so percentage. Is this all we have to do? I'm just looking. I think it is. Okay, yeah, and then the graph we'll do an interface because that's the easiest way to do it here. So blueprint interface, we'll call this API UI update. We'll say update UTE progress. Inputs will be the percent. Will be a float. Okay, that's it. And then we're going to go into this, and we're going to implement that event here. Sorry, my details are over here because of how I work when I'm not streaming. Updates, compile. Now there it is. And then we're going to get the progress bar, and we're going to set percent. And we don't need to do any conversions because we already did all that inside the QuickTime event. So everything's between 0 and 1 in there, right? So, all right, compile, set percent. Sounds great. Now we gotta add this to screen. Let's add this to screen without the event first, just to make sure it all works. We'll do that in our... is our controller still open? It is. It's over here. Controller. Then begin play. We'll just begin to get rid of this. Sorry. Oh, we need to do that inside this. We didn't do that. This guy. Percent. ETE percent. And we're going to divide it by 100, right? Is what we decided. That would have been well, this would have been something that didn't work, right? So, so we're fixing it now before we even start. So I'll answer some questions in 2 secs. I just want to, like I said, I want to make sure this works and get this going because I have to get off at 2 o'clock here. So, okay, so that works, and or that will work, I should say. Percent to add. Was it percent to add that we needed? Yeah, it was. I'm sorry. Percent to add. We're going to get that there, and then we're going to set that there. Alrighty. Okay, that's done, and then the rest of this is just all going to be between 0 and 1. Percent depreciation amount. Maybe we should set that too. So we'll set that, we'll get that, and then we'll divide it by 100. Put that here as well. Okay, then what else we have here? Percent will start off as... Oh, I see. You. I'm going back to the beginning of the stream. In my head when somebody said clamp this. You're talking about this. I see. We don't need to because it starts off at 0 and then it's only ever adding these percents in there, which have been decimated down to by 2 decimal points. So should be fine. Okay, so that works. And then we need to add it to our screen here, like I was saying. So we're going to create widget. It'll be our QTE button. We'll just add it to viewport. And then in this, how did we trigger this again? Or did we? We didn't. So this underscore QTE action 1. Then we're going to we need a reference to our widget. This is why I like the HUD class, man. It's just like, we can get our HUD, can't we, from here? No. We need an actual reference to the widget. I wonder if we create a... oh no, this isn't where I want it anyway. Sorry, I thought it was in my controller. Actually, we do have a reference to it. Well, we won't in the actual game, though. Is it this that needs the reference? It does. Maybe this should create the widget, actually. Yeah, that's what we should do. Thinking on the fly. And then we'll create widget here. We'll probably change the spot of this afterwards. Let's maybe not add it to viewport here, but let's make a reference to it. Sorry, promote variable. QTE widget. Okay, there it is. And we won't add it to viewport until the first time we fire this event, perhaps. Or... yes, we'll put it here, because we only do this once. And then we'll get that variable QTE widget, and then we'll add it to our viewport, and then we're going to get that interface as well. I mean, we could probably just, since we have a reference to it, put a custom event, but whatever, I guess. Update QTE progress. And we will... yeah, we'll plug this percentage. Actually, the percentage starts at 0, so once it hits there, we're already at 0. It's this that we need it at. So let's go here, update progress, and plug that in. Okay, sorry. Hopefully you guys are following along with that. That's me just kind of thinking out loud and talking out loud here. Okay, so will this work in our player controller? We don't have the control anymore to do this, so I will get it back. Sorry, input action QTE action 1, and then let's do variable. Let's do is QuickTime active. That'll be false by default. I might as well just get this all to friggin' work right now. Okay, this, we need some stuff in there now, so let's go back to here. I'll answer some questions now. Okay, sorry, we dealt with that. If you had initiate reset the UI element so that it's using the current set percent to the UI to start so it will jump. Oh yes, that's what this is doing. This is updating the percent every time we do the timer, right? So you're talking. Sorry, this is Leroy just mentioned updating the percentage real time. So that's what we're doing there. So we've added to viewport, we're updating the percent to 0, and then every time this fires, it's going to re-update the percent. Okay, so that's how that's going to work. Okay, and then sorry, somebody had a question up here about UE. What do you think would be best the way to learn UE5 C++ plus blueprints? If you're just learning, I would start with blueprints because C++ takes you out of the engine. You're going to be working in a C++ program, getting the engine to work, and then you're going to have to compile your C++ thing and then open your game. Whereas blueprints, you're just in Unreal Engine all the time. So getting to learn how Unreal Engine works, a good start would be to use blueprints. I think blueprints are very powerful. I think they have their place. And C++ also is really powerful as well. But yeah, I think you can make an entire game with just blueprints. It's possible. Everyone will say, "Oh, your game will run like shit." No, it won't. What makes your game run like shit is the graphics, to be honest. There's only a limited amount of things you can do with your coding. I think coding maybe is like 5% of your total performance, if I'm being honest. So don't be afraid to just make the game, make it in blueprints, and if you think you're not doing it right or whatever, then it's what's really slowing down your game is graphics and memory management, right? So that's kind of the 5% that comes into this blueprint stuff, right? So if you have everything loaded into memory, obviously your game's going to run very poorly because there's no memory left to run your graphics. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. Mr. Potato, hello, welcome. Okay, so let's get back to doing this here. Yeah, right, we're working on this. So we're in this now. We're going to do the component begin overlap right here. Let's have a look here. On component begin overlap, other actor equals our player. Player character. We have a reference to our controller, don't we? We do. Good. So checking to make sure it's our player. If it is, we are going to get our player controller, and we are going to set quick time event active to true. Okay. And then the end overlap, add events, end overlap, it'll be same thing, except the opposite. Copy, paste. Other actor goes into here. Super cool. And then is QuickTime event active again. Whoops, setting it. Duplicate this. False. Okay, true. Bloom. Okay, so then when we fire this control off in here, we're checking is QuickTime active. Revert to branch. Triggered, sorry. And if it is active, then we're going to have to... How do we get a reference to this? How do we get a reference to that? Let's maybe... We create the widget in here. Oh, we have the widget in here. I'm silly. Or sorry, am I in the... Oh, I'm in the wrong one. Sorry. I don't think get HUD will work here. How do we get a reference to this button? I can get widget of class or something, can I? Sure, we'll get all widgets of class because there's only one widget of this variety. Did we not? Oh, what did I say? DTE? What is that? Is that something bad? Did I Google it? This returns that are direct children of the viewport. Well, it wouldn't have been added to the viewport yet at that point anyway, so we're just going to get a copy, and then we are going to run... Oh, I'm stupid. We don't want to get widgets of class. We want to get all actors with class, and then can we check is overlapping? Or can we get... We can get a reference here, actually. Where are we? Sorry. No, we can't. God damn it. I was thinking of the overlap event in here. We could get a reference to the overlapped whatever the hell, but we can't do that in our controller. So yeah, I guess we need to get actor of class, because again, there's only one in the world, and it's going to be the DTE again, whatever that is. This guy. Then we're going to run whatever the event is in here. Oh, we're gonna call... Oh, shit. Yeah, that's right. I was thinking ahead back in the day. We're gonna fire this. Call that. Oh, can I not call that event? Or does that just call the event? And then everybody who's... So did I already think ahead on this? Event begin play, get Earth control... Okay, I already thought ahead on this, so I don't think we need this. I think it's literally just this, right? Okay, what do we got here? Don't tell him, guys. I dreaded the 5-hour QTE cutscene. Yeah, I'm not doing the 5-hour cutscene. I'm skipping that. Okay, let's see what it doesn't work here. And then... okay, it didn't... I gotta figure out where this... Runtime error... Tried to access the controller, but it says pending kill garbage. What the frick? Who's trying to kill my controller? Unbind. Oh, okay. But I didn't call destroy actor. Event to notify blueprints this actor is being deleted or removed from the level. Yes. What the hell? I'm super confused. That doesn't make any sense. King Boars, welcome to the sorry, 02 Game Dev. Welcome to the chat here. You can call an event on the player controller to spawn and set the widget and use that reference instead of spawning in the QTE. Well, again, you don't want to have a reference to anything, like, to all the things that are always going to be loaded, like the controller or the player or anything else, or HUD. Another good example. We don't want references to things, from those things to other actors, ideally, because, that'll create a circular dependency, right? So we don't want that, so that they can get deleted from the world, when we don't need them. I accidentally closed it? No, I didn't. Okay. To spawn and set the widget and use the reference. I see. This is in the world, right? Is this not it? I might not have hit it. I might have just been walking around here like a dummy, so it's in this corner, and I spawn looking that way. Copy. Okay. Have a look here. Okay, well, it spawned it, but it's getting stuck at the do once. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know what the hell that means. I don't know why it's trying to destroy my controller when I didn't even call the destroy actor node. So, anyways, yeah. This do once, I had good intentions. I had good intentions with this, but not what I want. So I wonder if this is gonna screw it up. I'm just super curious, actually. Wait, this corner, right? Yeah, that is screwing it up. So we'll deal with that error later. So yeah, as I suspected, when you constantly run this set timer by event, so you know what actually we should do? Oh shoot. Let's create a variable in here called trigger active as well. Or sorry, not trigger, QTE active. And that'll be Boolean. And that's gonna go right here. Convert to branch. Here you go. If we are active, sorry, if we're not active, we're not doing anything, which will be probably never, because it's not going to fire anyway unless we're active. So this stuff needs to get moved to down here. True. This doesn't fix my problem. So sorry, that doesn't fix my problem. I don't know what the hell my brain was thinking there. So actually, I think a sequence would be better with a do once. And we will do this once, and then all of this stuff. Yes. This will move. This is going to move down here to where this timer is. So we're going to check each time if our action success is done. And then if it is... Or, let's delete this branch. And let's grab this. And this will be on the true. That doesn't make any sense, though, because if this is true, this is already true. That's fine, whatever. Then we're going to do this. And I actually have to delete this so that I can get a regular one. And then we're going to get an OR. Okay. And then we're going to get a branch, and then we're going to plug this in up here. Okay. And then all this stuff's going to update per the way it was before. Okay, so when we fire it off, if we have action success or a percent is higher than 1, then we're going to be true out of here. Action success, clear and invalidate that timer. And then I deleted this event, but we'll just do this. Reset that. And I'm so confused. This stuff, yeah, okay. I'm getting back to it now. This stuff will have to be... Frick off, just come with me. There, it's gonna be here. Sick of looking at this. It's ugly. Create events, fire event. Okay, so this stuff will be... Do we need a branch here? Let's put this print string over here. We'll reset the timer again. Sorry, this is messy. Don't worry, I'll fix it, obviously. That's all we need to do. And then I think we need to update the widget as well. Okay, update widget. Update progress. Perfect. Okay, so that should all work. Comments here. It's because you trigger the event on a button press. Bro, you sound knackered. I feel this in Soul too. I'm knackered because I just did a week of shoveling horse shit and dealing with 50-kilometer-an-hour winds and dealing with film crews. So yeah, I'm a little knackered. So yeah, yeah, the movies are not glamorous, everybody. I can tell you that right now. Okay, anyways. It's on end play, so when you close the editor, I presume. Oh, well, yeah. Well, you know what we'll do is... But I don't get that error on anything else I have event play on any of my other projects. Why does Unreal do Unreal things every time we do a stream? That doesn't make any actual sense. Yeah, because I have event end play. Oh, unless the controller destroys itself when you click end play, and then it triggers this afterwards, and then it's like this doesn't exist anymore. That's probably what's happening, to be honest. Yeah, we'll get rid of that for now. We'll deal with that later. Because I gotta wrap the stream up here in half an hour. Shove is an is valid on it, and you won't see the error. Oh yeah, of course. Stop making sense. King Boars. I don't like when you come in here and make me look like a dummy. I'm just kidding. I just do that on my own. Okay, anyways, there it is. Perfect. Okay, let's test it out here. What's stopping you from working now? We're getting caught up on this do once again. Does it start close? Sorry, it didn't go through the do once again for some reason. I'm just gonna see if it goes through it at all. It does, but why doesn't the timer just like go? Is it because this is 0? It's because that's 0. I see. Oh, why don't I set all the freaking variables in here? Hey, that would be nice. Details. Quick time percent to add. Let's try. Oh yeah, 30, and then timer will be every 0.1, and the percent to take away will be sorry, I got to be 10%. Those are got to be like the actual full amounts. Okay, sorry. Let's try that now. See if it works. Okay, it works. A little bit of balancing needed, so maybe percent to add will be like a bit lower, like 20, maybe. Go! That's what I'm talking about. All right, so that works. It adds it to screen. Now you just got to do events. So, the sequencer is probably what you would need to use in this. What do I have to? Yeah, I might have time for that. I never done QuickTime events, so I will be basically trying to figure it out when I do this. So we'll call this QuickTime event sequence. Sorry, I made a new sequence right up here. I new level sequence. Here it is. We need to add this sequencer to the level, to be honest. So let's go to... I'll stay quiet, yeah. So, yeah, we figured it out, everybody. How exciting. That we figured out the QuickTime set. Now it's just got to get it to work, like, in the actual game, because that's just not a usable QuickTime event system. Hopefully can get it figured out here in, like, 20 minutes, but, you know that's not gonna happen. But anyways, okay, so sequencer, we gotta add it to a level when this happens. So... that will be the same. When we overlap this, we are going to... I think it's like add level sequence... add level instance, no. Sequence. I can't remember what it's called. It might even be called add sequence. I don't frickin' remember how to do it. Quick timer is buffering. Thanks. Okay, so how do we get the sequencer in the level again? It's like... maybe I'll just type sequencer. Sequencer tools. Sequencer. Create level sequence player. That's what I want. Okay, level sequence will be this one. And... level sequence, this level sequence actor created to play the sequence. You just say play sequence? Play sequence player. I think that's what we need. Yes. And then, so let's just do something super quick here. Let's just like add a, sorry, I guess I gotta open the bloody thing again. Okay, so it's open now. Get out of my way. Let's add a camera. If you guys want me to make more sequencer cutscene-y related stuff, I made only one cutscene video on my channel, but I mean, I worked in film. I can teach you guys like a ton of stuff about cinematography, camera angles, action, all that kind of stuff. So, very knowledgeable in that kind of stuff. Anyways, sorry, we want to add a... we don't have one in the level. Yeah, we want a camera cut track for sure. Let's just add a camera to the level. There's a cinecamera actor. There we go. Okay, so let's just quickly do this. Can you set this to snap to look at a player? Or snap to look at somebody? Maybe in the director blueprint you can do that. Can you open that directly from here? Maybe not, but you need your player. I think it's a spawnable, right? So you have to drag your player, I believe, into the world. And then now you can reference them in the sequencer. So yeah, so we'll do this. We'll do add third person character in here. Get on with it. There we go. Thank you very much. Okay, so there's our it says OBS disconnected again, so hopefully you guys can see this. Okay, connection reached successful. Cool. So Mr. Potato says, "Can I request?" Yes, you can. I will show you how at the end of the stream. I just want to get this done here. If you visit the description below, there's a link down there where you can request a system, but I'll explain it all later. Anyway, so there's our player. Oh, I moved the player right out of the collision sphere. That's funny. Whoops. Okay, so this person has a camera, but this level sequencer will override your current camera settings. And I just gotta figure out how to make this, like, animation. Yeah, why don't we... I'm just gonna do this kind of half-ass here, for now. So where's the idle? I type idle up here. Idle. Okay. So, I just put an animation on this track, so now when this plays, it should... it didn't, actually. So you know what? We don't want our player character, screw that. We want our, we want a mannequin of some variety. Okay, so we'll do third-person content where characters, probably, mannequins, meshes. Specifically, we want the control rig, ideally. Get out of my way. Control rig. Because the control rig, we can manipulate and animate and do stuff with. So that's kind of what you want. So we'll click on him, we'll rotate him here, and we'll just pretend there's like a QuickTime event of some variety. Animation, we'll click on this, we can select an animation. Is there one where he's like struggling to do something, like normally you would in a whatever it's called, QuickTime event? Dash, death, attack, charge attack, death, 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 hit react. What does that look like? Is it because I have to be in the camera, maybe? Camera cuts, I have to add a camera. New binding, cine actor camera, there we go. Now we can move the camera around and oh man, we need to rotate this camera. Where is it? It's not level, you can clearly see it's not level. We're snapping, get that out of here. And we're gonna do local, where's... I still haven't gotten used to the new 5.6 controls. How do you change the local space? Right here. Looks a little bit more level. Okay, what do you look like when you die? Let's see. No, nothing happens. Did we not... I'm gonna get rid of that. That's for some reason not working. Okay, we'll try that again. Animation. What is it? 39, okay. Oh yeah, hit react. Front heavy, sure. Do I have to do something else with this guy? Or is it, whoops. This I have to add an animation to? Nope. Normally this works, so I'm not sure what's going on here, sorry. Yeah, you can totally, if you can share your experience with those kinds of effects where it's like a guy smashing to the ground when landing and so on. I'm sitting next to an animator, he said maybe you need to bring a skeletal mesh, not the control rig. You know what, that's probably right. Yeah, this is more for animating in the sequencer, isn't it? Because like I can obviously click on these and manipulate stuff and create bindings and stuff, so yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's just the skeletal mesh. Okay, so we'll get rid of him. And let's see. Or sorry, I guess we got to delete him. We got to add a new guy in that's just a skeleton mesh mani sample. Okay, and then add him to the sequencer. Add actor, add to sequencer. Now let's try this out. Damage? Is that what it was called? Or hurt or something? I just know heavy was in there. There. Interesting that it inputted the control rig anyway. Well, we're gonna if we delete that, will that make it not work? Yeah, usually this works. Like, I literally made a cutscene for everything guy's game, and like this was working all the time, so I'm not really sure what's going on here. Anyways, okay, we'll forget that. We'll figure that out another day, but so generally you're gonna want, for a QuickTime event scene, I'm in this, I'm not pilot this camera so I can frame this a bit better. Okay, well, for number one, for cameras, you gotta set the right settings here. Focal length, that's your lens size. Lens size, basically the smaller you are, the wider you are, and the closer you are, the higher you are, the more closer you are, but the more depth of field you get. So, if I'm way back here, and then I start pumping this up, you can see like the focus just really starts to kind of play a huge role in it. So now, you know, now I can frame this up. What are we on? 150? Man, if you're on a 150, that's a shot. This is like how they film actors running away from explosions. Like, the actors are like really far away from the explosion, and then they'll film it on like a 200mm lens, and then really sell that explosion being really close, because it looks like he's right next to this green cube when he's not, right? So anyways, we're gonna go on 150 lens. This is the manual focus setting, so you can pull your focus in the scene. Okay, obviously that's looking way more cinematic than normal because the background's a little blurred out and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's really nice. Aperture, this is just going to control how much light is allowed into the camera. Right, so the further down we go. Aperture, sorry. Maybe not, okay. Am I thinking of something else? Yeah, because usually like you want like a 2.4 stop. But anyways, whatever, it doesn't matter. So yeah, here's our guy, and generally you want our guy, who we're gonna actually frame off to the right a bit, because that QuickTime event pops up right here. So we could do a little push in here. So let's set the camera's transform here, and then we're gonna go all the way to the end here, and then we're gonna just slowly push in. And I would rather do that outside of the camera, because I don't want to do the whole like Unreal Engine sloppy controls. So I'm going to do this. Is it this? No, I'm going to, sorry, click on the camera itself. That will give me a little viewport here. And then I'm at the end of my timeline. I have auto keyframes on. And now when I move it, it will change. So we're going to do here. We move it over just like a hair. Okay, and then let's change our focus, because our focus is, we're out of focus now because we moved our camera. So we're going to we'll go back here. We'll add a focus here, and we'll go to the end. We'll add a focus here. Okay, and now we can slide this to have him still be in focus. And then as we move, it should update the focus just like that, right? So that's all we're doing. We're just pushing in super thing, and then we're gonna add a check here somewhere, which is like we're gonna stop this. And then as we get to a specific percent, I think we're going to check. I mean, I'm not going to have time to do this today because I got to get off. But yeah, you can check along with the way as we go for certain percentages. And then once you reach 100%, you'd ideally be at the end of the sequence. And then everything would be all good. And then you could remove sequence player or finish sequence player, whatever the case is here. So I believe that is accomplished. Again, I haven't done this, so I'm just figuring it out as I go here. You should be able to add a trigger track or something like that. Shot track, media track, level, event track, trigger. Here we go. So, just looking here at what I need. Event trigger. Sorry, is this? No, it's not. Event trigger. There we go. Okay. Oh, we do have two trigger tracks on there. So here, let's say, let's try and we can go back to this view. Let's try and do a bind here. So let's go to, not condition, is it? Yeah, director blueprint condition. Create new condition endpoint. So I'm essentially trying to create like anim notifies, but like in this sequencer, if that makes sense. So evaluate condition. The condition we need. Do these work? I don't know if anybody knows. Do these work the same as like level blueprints? Can I just select something that's in the world and then like put it in here? I can just get a reference to the QTE trigger, I guess. There's only one in the world. QTE object. Okay, so there's our object reference for our thing, and we're going to get %. And we're checking to see if it is, at this point, this is early on, greater than 20? Sorry, 0.2. Pardon me, 0.2, and that is our condition. Okay, and then we're going to go back to this. So, did that happen? I don't see a thing here. So there's our push in, right? So you'd probably add camera shake and all that other cool stuff as well, but oh, it is there. I see it. It's just like really hard to see. So sequence. Okay, so if that condition is met, this is the sequence. It's just gonna say we're gonna play sequence, I guess. We're gonna get it to stop here. Sequence events. Yeah, this is all new territory for me, everybody's, so I'm just trying to figure out how this would work. So we create a level sequence. You'd have to create notifies at some points just to get it to stop. So add a new section of triggers an event every time it's evaluated. This is just trigger event at a specific time. Okay. If I go to add, is there anything on here in regards to stopping? So actually, hey, hang on. Can we do this? Where's the... So this event, we'll rename it to check... What's it called? Check % progress. Okay, and sure, we'll do that. No, sorry, we won't do that. So we're going to stop sequencer? Stop sequence? Stop, how would you say that? You need a reference to that anyway. So this is the director blueprint. So this get sequencer. Get sequence. What's this now? Sequence evaluator reference. I don't even know what the hell that is. So many things I don't know about Unreal, everybody. It's annoying. I'm just going to get sequence and see what happens. Stop sequence? Nope. Does anyone know how to get a stop sequence in chat by chance? You would think it'd be easy to access in here because it's the director blueprint of the sequencer I'm working in. Let's remove context sensitive and let's just type like stop sequence right there. What do you need for it? Oh, self. Look at that. I just had to get rid of that. But okay, stop sequence, and then we're gonna do this evaluation check. Or we won't. We'll just get sorry, I'm just thinking, should we... Let me drag this out again. Side here. I don't need this. Movie scene. Condition context type. I guess I need that at some point. Let's make this a variable here, and let's say that this is the % to pass. Okay, and that'll be that. Compile. Let's go back to the sequence of events. This blueprint is not an actor sequence component. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. stop sequence at current time. Is this also? Yeah, this is stop movie sequence player, which is what this is. So this should work, right? Nope. Needs a target. Self? Like, why is... This blueprint is not a movie sequence player. So do I have to get, like, a reference get sequence or something like that? Get sequence... Oh, so confused. No, yeah, they wanted, for the stop, it wanted a component. This isn't a component, this is the director blueprint. Can I trigger it in this? So like if I click on, okay, well, maybe not click on that. Right click on this properties. Check percent. No, okay, well, not sure how to make this stop. Time warp, fade track, blah, 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 time dilation track. Huh. Shot, yeah, that's nothing I actually need. Looking for literally anything that would make sense. Camera. New binding. God damn it, this is really annoying. Or, you know what, instead of stop, can we pause? Is that the word we're looking for? Pause sequence? That's a component, it's not gonna like that. Get actors, get, actor sequence. Burn-in, what does that mean? Get sequence player. Is that gonna work? File, sorry, stop at current time. Do you like that? Nope. Target must have a connection. Sequence. How do you get a reference to the sequence that this director blueprint is referencing? That doesn't make any sense. It says it is the QTE sequence director blueprint. So like literally the sequence that it's the director of, you should have a frickin' reference to it. Like I don't get it. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm gonna put content sensitive back on. Variables, cinematics, get player? Or is that their player character? Point to the player that's playing back this director sequence. Hey, look at that. Done. Okay. So stop at current time, then we're gonna evaluate, and the percent to pass, we just need to get percent here. Get percent, this one here. Okay, we're gonna get percent. We're gonna check if it's pass. Oh, sorry, that's not what we want. Pardon me. That all happens in there. Sorry. We don't need this. Okay, so percent to pass here will be 0.20, and if we have passed it, then we will play the sequencer again. Copy, player, play. Okay, so we will see if that works, and yeah, we'll start with error. We'll start with error. What is effing happening here? When I hit play, it played the sequencer. I'm just going to close the sequencer and then play the game. And it's going to crash. Thank God. Okay, does it stop? I don't think it stopped. So this sequencer, we're gonna run out of time here, everybody. But this sequencer here is what we need to trigger the QuickTime event to start. So we would have some other events in this director blueprint. This didn't work for some reason. We'll try one more thing maybe and see if we can get it to work. But because it should stop here unless it didn't. For some reason, it just didn't trigger this. Properties. Oh, rebind to check percent progress. That's what we want. Okay, so hopefully that'll work now when we get going on this again. But what was I going to say here? Yeah, so you would need to create an event in here, probably right off the top here, where you're going to get a reference to this guy, which you already have, and you're going to probably, yeah, because we have it in our controller right now. Yes, you're going to have to fire something off in here that sets our... Ah, okay, so instead of the trigger... So instead of this here... you would have the level sequence, and you would have another thing fire off that sets the QuickTime event as active. And then we'd have this getting added. So yeah, you would basically fire this event, and you would add in this QuickTime active. So let's get rid of this. And let's cut this. Add this. Paste. Okay, so right here, right here. Okay, so that's that. QuickTime event active true, and then we do all this stuff. And then when we have completed this, we are going to we should exit the sequencer. That's what it should be. Okay, so is this gonna work now? It should. I'll get rid of this. Oh yeah, I gotta trigger this event here. So properties, condition, create quick bind. Create a new condition endpoint. No, we don't want to do that. Sorry, that just made a new function, which we don't need. We need to this event. So how do we do that again? Events. I'll put a thing here. Properties. Oh, I gotta add it. Sorry, I gotta add custom event, and this will be called add QTE widget. Okay, we'll add the QuickTime event widget. We will then grab this and we will fire event. And to be honest, well, there's a couple things firing that, so we're not going to worry about that right now. But you could have a separate event that adds all of this stuff here and starts the timer, and then have like, because we can eliminate this sequence, right? Which we're going to do. We're going to do this. We're going to fire event is going to be this. And all of this stuff is exactly the same. We just need another custom event for add QTE event. Okay, and then that's the one we're going to call in our director blueprint here. Okay, so add QTE. Sorry, we got to do that in our sequencer right here. Sorry if I'm moving a little bit too fast, everybody. QuickTime events, this sequence, director, this one. Okay, so we're gonna compile. For the love of God, I hope this works. So we're gonna overlap this. Is gonna start a thing. Oh, does it just straight stop and fail the? Oh, stop doesn't mean what I thought it meant. Stop means to, like, just stop the sequencer. I need it to pause. Playback is paused, so let's get rid of that. And let's hit play again. Alright, let's try it out now. Don't want to get in the frame. It didn't add the thing to the blueprint. It didn't fire the right event. Oh, I see. That's why. We need to add QTE event. There we go. Little bit all over the place here, everybody. I'm also trying to rush to get off because I'm getting off right here. So, but okay, so it paused in the right spot. That's good. Now we gotta work on the controls actually working. So I wonder if it disables controls when you're in a cutscene. That's actually a good point. That's a good point. Does it disable? Can I query events to the player controller? Or do you add the widget to this? And you add actor to track. Can I create widget here? Create widget. You can. That's super nice. Then can you add it here? Quick TE or QTE button. And then add to viewport. Add to viewports. And then I know we're going to be adding it twice, but that's fine. It didn't seem to work anyway, so we're going to add this, add it to viewport. Let's see if that works. Okay, so it does add it to viewport. That's a good sign. Now do we have to override? Oh, that's on create. Interesting. Okay, so that's how you get it on screen, but how do you get it to actually accept inputs? I'm gonna Google it. Yeah, we'll see what Google comes up with. Oh, how to enable inputs on in sequencer in UE5. I spelled it wrong, whatever, Google and what I mean. Enabling. Open the blueprint of the actor. Well, yeah, no shit. I know how to enable actors on that shit. Triggering input, enable. Using event tracks and sequencer, open your level, add an event track, add event, call function trigger, blah, blah, blah. Create a custom event in your player controller relevant actor. Follow desired. Input. Yeah, I'm kind of curious if input is enabled by default. This is access done trying to read. Yeah, the errors we can deal with later. Because everything was working other than inputs. So there's F. And I'm pushing F and nothing's happening. So well, unfortunately, sorry to leave everybody on a bad system that doesn't work. So what I'm gonna do, I think, is for any video like this that I don't finish on stream, I will figure it out off stream, and then I will make an actual video on it. That'll probably satisfy the lot of you there. So yeah, we'll leave it there. We got pretty far. We made the trigger. We got the QuickTime event system to actually work. We've made a sequencer. We've got the sequencer trigger. We can add it. We've added our QuickTime event to our screen. And then we've gotten our sequencer to pause at a certain point to have us check if our percentage is a certain thing, which obviously it's not at 20 right now. So it won't be continuing on until then. Sorry, let me just... Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I just gotta figure out the input probably, and then this will be working. The benefit of doing it this way is... Here, I'll just hit escape. The benefit of doing it this way is, like, as the sequencer is moving, it's going to do checks every single time. It's going to stop. It's not going to progress forward. And then perhaps if we have it hit a certain threshold, it can go back to the previous one, so your camera can actually, like, zoom out, right? Like, it's like, oh, you're not getting anywhere. You're zooming out. You're losing. And then as you're winning, it kind of zooms in, that, like, kind of power zoom, right? So that's pretty cool, right? So anyways... Mark, you get a bonus stream already. Just shut your mouth. How about that? Hmm. Anyways, it was a decent system. Just needed some debugging and smoothing. Well done. Thanks, man. What we didn't do it, so I'm not gonna play the Super Mario thing. So we'll get this guy instead. But yeah, so that's ideally what something that we want to do. So yeah, let me figure this out and I'll make a video on it because this has a lot of different systems involved. Obviously, you got the UI component, the sequencer, which I'm not super familiar with. I know how to make films. I know all the cinematography, all that kind of stuff, how to light stuff, all that kind of, but the sequencer confuses me. So, yeah, I was kind of fumbling around like a bumbling idiot here today, so trying to do the sequencer. But yeah, I could also, like I said, do a video on all the film cinematography stuff, cutscenes, like yeah, it's really cool how you can tell a story and just like the little psychological things that you could do in a cutscene to help tell your story or create tension in places. One free one I'll give to you guys right now is generally speaking, if you want things that you want to feel good or characters that you want that are your heroes on screen when they're moving, generally left to right on screen. The reason I say that is because in pretty much almost every culture in the world, other than like the Asian cultures, we read left to right. That is very natural for us to look at and to read and to understand in our brain. It's just reading left to right just feels so right. When I was learning Japanese and I had to start reading right to left, top to bottom, super weird. Like my brain just did not like that. It was super uncomfortable. And you can create that uncomfortableness in movies. So you'll notice that like if the antagonist walks into the scene, they're going to be literally like this guy, right? So he's going to walk in and it's going to be walking right to left and you already are a little bit uncomfortable just because of that particular movement, right? So yeah, so Mark, are we tied? Wait, what? Oh, you guys are fighting over the top spot once again. You guys are all top spot in the TG realm. Okay, anyways, yeah, if you guys want to request a system for next week, make sure you do that with the request a system thing right there on screen. So super chats will get guarantee placement in the poll for the system next week. Doesn't guarantee that you're going to get picked, but it puts you in the one of the 4 suggestions for everybody to vote for. Okay, so what was I gonna say? So yeah, super thanks as well. Like after the stream's over, if you guys drop one of those off and you have a comment or a question for me, I will answer directly on the next stream. Okay, and then obviously. Make sure you check out my affiliate links. I got, like I said, what do you call this? INCOGNI. You get 60% off a yearly plan, so check them out. Keep your internet security dialed in, and don't let people fish for your information or sell your information without your consent. So that's positive. And then obviously for everybody else who's interested in music and sound for our games, which is usually neglected until the last possible moment, we have Epidemic Sound. I got 30-day free trial for you in the description below there as well. So. Anyways, hope you guys have a great day. I'm gonna go spend some time with my beautiful lady. I'll see you guys later. Peace.